And we are live. Welcome,
Yo,
NBA, to
Welcome,
our
mid
everyone.
season.
week 4 stream is up and running now.
Hard to believe we're already halfway through the regular season.
Yeah.
November flew by, dude.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
COVID month.
Dude, that
Huh?
Oh,
that Christmas playlist that keeps showing in the recommended, like it
Getting awfully
it's getting-
tempting, eh?
Yeah, it's getting more and more like I keep seeing it, be like, dude, like it's not even close yet, but it's like, wow, it's actually next month is December.
it's a month
Like a
away
week.
today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. I like Christmas music.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's just people just don't like when it's playing in October.
True. By being Canadian, where they start playing Christmas music as soon as Halloween is over.
Yeah.
Usually, at least in the States, they wait until like Thanksgiving to start playing Christmas.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. No.
No.
Damn.
It's
I mean, this is
just-
coming from someone like I've worked in the service industry for a few years
Yeah.
and listened to Christmas music playing all day, every day. And yeah, I still like Christmas music.
yeah.
Back when I was at Tim Hortons, my general manager like counted the days until Remembrance Day to put Christmas music on after the 11th.
Yeah,
Then we
I guess
listened to it for
the further north
just
you get,
realized
the
we
snow is
still,
sooner.
I've just realized we still have week 3 replay review, but it is week 4.
Oh
indeed.
yeah.
Whoops.
Good point.
Our bad.
That is something that I did not
If
change.
only we could change that.
I can't check it out. I mean, the title's correct on the stream, which is usually the thing that I don't change. There, now it's fixed.
Yeah, we've got it backwards. This is draft player editing comprehension, not reading comprehension.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have in store a little bit more than we usually have, actually. We're starting to get to the meaty part of the season where standings are really starting to separate. Some people start to really run away with this season. It starts to be more apparent who needs to shake things up a little. So we will be taking a good look at every division's standings, as well as every division's trades and how... and predicting how those trades may help people either get back into the race or keep pushing their lead ahead. So yeah, we've got a pretty good roster. Try 2x speed this, bruh. It's called Wait for the VOD. Also, no.
2x. Yeah. I thought you were like saying something like to us. I was like, is that like a saying? And then I just saw the chat,
No.
like,
No, Jortson's saying that in stream. Can I put Subway Surfers gameplay on the stream? Yeah, it's the only way to keep you guys' attention nowadays, eh?
Yeah. We
Okay, well, I don't
want
wanna-
the screen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, I don't want to keep all of the Zoomers waiting. They do have a low attention span now, so
That's
I
true.
guess we should just get right into our All-Star replay. As you'll see on screen, we do, in fact, have Jortson versus Gensuzu for Week 4.
Oh, you said
And
that
this is a pretty tight game.
for Terra, it's always if I switch the viewpoint, then it'll be the way that I think it is. Is that
Yeah, yeah,
correct?
yeah. So reverse.
Yeah.
So look from the protagonist's
Yeah.
point of view. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, that is how I would
Let's
look
see
at
what
it.
we can
There
do.
you go.
Yeah. Okay, checking how what Terras do we have here?
Who's playing?
Suzu and
Uh,
Jortson. And Suzu's
see,
at the top.
see, to know who the captains are, I mean, and to know who the Terra types are, I'd have to know who the captains are. Is it
Okay, I'll tell you
Scizor?
right now. Gensuzu's are Scizor and Shaman.
So that's just base Scizor, I guess. And then
Yeah, it's base Scizor. And
Yeah, it's Mega
Or
Gallade.
is that a
Jortson's-
recent change?
Jortson's
Because
are.
I feel like we didn't really talk about a Terra Scizor at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was.
remember.
It used to be Terra Thundi, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Thundy was dropped. That's right.
Oh, Thundy was dropped entirely.
Yes, you
Yeah,
picked
so-
it up. We'll talk about the trades in a
Okay,
few.
yeah.
And
I was
sorry,
gonna say, 'cause
Jortson's
that's
are
definitely the first time I saw
Urshifu,
that.
Urshifu and Reuniclus for Jortson.
Fire, Urshi, and Water. Reuniclus.
Mhm.
The
I'm
Mon
interested.
of
What
the
do you
week.
think the water's for?
The Mon of the week last week.
What do you
it's
think
just-
Terra Water is for? For Chiyu? I feel like it's
Probably. I mean,
always
it's also
clicking the
just a
dark
good
move
defensive
into
type.
Ryuni.
It's just a good defensive type if you're just playing a defensive Reuniclus.
Scizor maybe resist those steel moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I guess for
and
Scizor.
Swampert as well if he's not clicking quick. I don't know. I think it's a pretty good like
Yeah.
overall just defensive type.
Actually, I don't think you really want to Terra very often though, because it's kind of the Gallade check.
That's fine, but like you don't have to.
That's true. You know,
I think all it is just saying like, hey, this mon is going to be defensive, and it's either going to be psychic defensive or it's going to be water defensive, and you won't know until something else terrors maybe, you know.
Yeah, true. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, I feel like something like I don't know. I feel like Swampert's just a pretty good lead overall. That Scizor is a pretty decent lead. I don't know if I like Scizor lead into the potential Cinderace lead though, because Cinderace does look just like the best lead for Jortson.
Well, it's
I would
Terra
think
Scizor,
maybe. Yeah, but you don't want to have to burn that turn one because kind of the same way that like you don't want to have to Terra Reuniclus, you don't want to have to Terra Scizor when Shaman is there as well.
though. Yeah, but I also just think that like you're not guaranteed killing it with a Pyro Ball either. So like maybe Cinderace is scouting and clicks U-turn instead.
Oh,
Maybe,
so it would click U-turn turn one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead
that's
of
fair.
instead
I
of just
think
going for the Pyro Ball against the Terra Scizor.
yeah, I feel like Noivern is just a better lead overall though.
Yeah.
It's pretty good into anything
Or
except like
Pert could rock.
Arch.
I mean, and would also be decent against the Cinder, right? He doesn't get.
yeah, Pert's pretty
grass,
safe
does
too.
he?
I would guess Pert versus Cinderace.
Yeah. Does Cinderace get grass coverage? like
Maybe it gets Trailblaze. Let me double check.
I'm actually not sure. Because there's some mons that you would think would get Trailblaze just like thematically, but don't like because
Does
they're a
get
fire
Trailblaze.
type or because there's something else where it's like they just shouldn't hit a water type. So he does.
Yeah,
Get it.
it does get, and actually being Libero into a grass type would
Yeah.
actually be really nice into Pert too.
Yeah. So that's why I was wondering. Like if he gets a grass move, then that becomes much worse for Pert. But also like Trailblaze takes up a slot, right? And you might not have room for that against a Chiyu, Scizor, Noivern. That's 2 quad resists, a neutral resist, another neutral resist. We might rather just have U-turn, Pyro Ball, and then whatever else you need in there. But anyway.
Yeah, very true. Let's
we'll
see what happens.
See what they do. So they do get the Pert into the Urshi.
Pert and Urshi. Now Urshi has Trailblaze
That's a
too.
two-
Okay, we do spoilers. We do see the Trailblaze.
but it's Terra Fire as well. Oh, it doesn't do a lot.
Oh, true.
Oh my!
He doesn't get stabbed though, because it's not like Cinderace.
Yeah.
It's a Libero.
Eating the burn though, this is getting a little bit risky if Swampert scalds
if he gets
again.
The burn. There's the burn.
That was burn, and it's pretty much dead.
Oh, I thought that was a Lumberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lum would have been heat.
I think it trolled me in the game too.
Wait, so hold on. I just want to see something. So, obviously, like you don't necessarily want to burn your Terra just yet. If you're seeing based on the damage that Neutral Skull did was well under 50%, you could like you have Citrus Berry. You could theoretically Terra Fire, survive a Skull.
Yeah.
And then not get burned because you're fire, and then Citrus Berry puts you back to like 50%.
True. I don't think this will have the tools to like go for the sweep. So your Terra is going to be, I don't want to say wasted, but like there's a Scizor Bullet Punch there, and I don't think you're gonna, unless you have specifically Ice Punch, you're not gonna Oko. Dragon
But I think you're just kind
Noivern.
of wasting the Urshi anyway, though, right? Like, but just
Yeah, it's kind of. It's fine, I think, to just trade your Urshi to say that rocks are never getting up this game. Because now Pert is...
That's true.
You can only set against specifically Reuniclus,
And
because it's
nobody
slower than
else-
everything else.
Nobody else has hazards here. Agility, Sword
hold on.
Stance.
So this is Toxic Orb, though, so it's probably not... Oh, okay, it is Acrobatics.
Yeah.
But that'll be weaker. Oh, it has Fling. Was that Dual Dance
Oh.
Fling Acro?
That's actually pretty... That's
It's
a
not
cool
a Terra
set.
Captain. But, oh, hold on, wait.
Uh-oh.
I don't think it's just GG here, is it?
I don't think
Hold.
Because you still have Shaman.
Oh, this is Terra. Okay, Terra
Ooh,
Electric.
Terra Electric. That makes a big difference there. Still...
But okay, so this
But
actually
he doesn't
can't
have
sleep
he
now.
doesn't
Let's
have
try to-
Earthquake though. He doesn't have anything to
Yeah.
hit. Yeah. So I guess that's the
Fling-
drawback to having to take a move for Fling.
Yeah, Fling may have been a little overzealous, but I do think like the dual dance was actually really strong there.
Does he get dual
Getting
wing
these
beat
drops
now?
is funny. No dual wing beat. Wait, I don't think so. Hold on.
Because I know a bunch of mons got it in Gen 9. Because I would be curious. Like,
Wait, it does have dual wing beat.
so maybe you just run that instead of
Yeah,
Acro,
wing beat,
and then you
EQ.
don't, and then, like I can't even say it. Earthquake, wing beat, and then you can keep your SG agility.
Yeah, that's probably maybe a better set. I mean, maybe not a better set because Acro is just like a really
You
good
gotta
move,
wonder what the
but
roles were for some of that
yeah,
stuff.
it may just potentially have one here. That kind of feels bad.
Yeah, and I don't know who else
So
has it,
Shaman
too.
is dropping a lot with Seed Player here, which is funny. But I would actually start counting the PP on this Shaman
Yeah,
Seed
send
Player.
the 4. Earth power. Okay.
Fairly standard set. I think this is just Fizz Def.
Wait, SDs again, but what is he hitting it with? Maybe he hadn't seen the. No, the synthesis had already been shown as well. I don't know.
Oh, this is fine. I actually think this is fine. You just waste the Seed Flare PP. Yeah, and Synth too being also 8 is actually
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
What else does it have? Earth power, yeah.
Yeah, and you just go back to Gliscor here too.
On the Earth power, yeah.
Yeah,
But maybe if you're Gensuzu, you just
back to Arch.
you just seed flare on that swap. Like 'cause,
Yeah, I
mean,
think
it's a
Jordan
pretty
was playing
obvious
as well
swap.
though.
Yeah.
I didn't see. Oh wow, that just KOs. I didn't see if this was light clay or not. How many turns
I
were
think
the
that
springs up?
was I think that was max because it went down to 3. Yeah, it went down to like single number. So it was, yeah. Which I think it only does that.
So I wonder what item it was. I kind of went into that expecting that it would be a Choppel.
Who was it that said it? I didn't even. Oh, it was the
Arch.
The Arch. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then he just dies.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Which isn't super.
And it wasn't
surprising.
AV.
He didn't get the defense up for that one, right? So it's not crazy that he goes.
Yeah,
down.
that's true. I think we're used to seeing our Chaladon with just crazy boosted defense.
Yeah, or at least
Switching
one
into, like,
stage.
U-turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really paying attention to that. So okay, so yeah, Azumaros forces the Gallade out.
The Cinderace
that was a
double
double
was really
switch.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of lost track
You
of
have
like
to respect
what
the
order
scarf.
turns are happening. Honestly, Azu
Yeah.
looks really good into the Chiyu in general. I didn't really think about that.
Oh, that must be Assault Vest. That took nothing.
Yeah.
Wait, honestly, it could
makes
even
sense.
just be Thick Fat.
We haven't seen him move. I was gonna say.
I think that's
maybe if
unlikely.
I mean, thick fat AV though, like that is a really good, just like Chiyu can't click his
Screw you, Chiyu.
Because
Yeah.
like then the strongest thing he can click is Dark Pulse, which isn't as crazy.
Yeah. So with Shaman low HP, I think it's low HP.
Oh.
Oh wait, SD.
So okay,
so Scizor actually wins this out.
I was wondering if the reason for the Acro is maybe a Scizor calc. Like maybe Acro Oko is where Quake doesn't. But Acro
Obviously, it
also
does have the
click.
accuracy, but yeah, maybe like a +3 or sorry +4 Acro kill Scizor.
Well, yeah, but I feel like a +4 Quake would also kill Scizor at that point.
Potentially, yeah.
Like if Acro did 76, it's only like 20 or 30 more BP, right? Because it goes 55 to. Wait, is it 55 doubled or is it 60? 60
It's
doubled,
55. Yeah, so it's 110.
So it just goes to 1. It's
on
only
Acro.
10 BP higher, and you'd be doubling your attack again. I think Quake would also kill anytime that +4 Acro does. But either way,
potentially. Regardless, I think it definitely cooked.
yeah.
There's
And
not
he's forced
really a
out.
switch to this. Oh man, wait, this is Terra Water. Yeah,
There's where the
Terra
water comes in, and he lives with 2%. That
Wow.
seems like. Wait, was he not full health when he came in?
It was.
He was. Wait.
It seems like this
63, okay, I thought it was
particular
55.
calc was like fleshed out beforehand. Like it's designed to live 2 +2s after Terra.
Yeah, I'm wondering if but like 63%, he's at 37. Yeah, so half of that of the same roll he does guaranteed survive.
Like maybe
we don't know what the max roll
maybe
are,
you-
obviously, but-
I mean, you can see how much the first, as Gensuzu, you can see how much the first bullet punch does.
Mhm.
Know that it doesn't KO after Terra Water and go for the save U-turn, where
Yeah.
at least you you KO the Reuniclus, and you lose your Sword Dance boost, but you still have a Scizor in the back.
Yeah, but you also lose your Sword Stance boost if you bullet punch into Terra Water Reuniclus as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And his other Terra Captain's already dead. I think it's almost guaranteed that he Terras there. I agree, just U-turn. Unless your calc was showing something different. Maybe it was.
It could have been a roll, who knows?
Yeah.
Gallade comes in, I think just always brings in Azumarill, yeah. This could have Leaf Blade on the Gallade or Thunder Punch.
But what if he saps it, bro?
Doing that much, I think this is just huge power.
Down to 1 Seed Flare left.
1 Seed Flare, wow.
But then... I guess U-turn's pretty safe there.
So assuming this has Jet, this could get really dicey for Consumer.
Yeah, oh yeah, in order to show play rough, so it's probably huge power with Jet. I wonder, is it Bandit or is it... Oh, Liquidation.
Oh, gets the Liquidation read.
Well,
actually,
you didn't
for this
really
play,
need
maybe
read,
not. It
there's
was
no
a
way
read.
he kills
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can just
safe.
safely accept that it. Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Safely accept the damage on Azu, especially assuming that it's Assault Vest.
Ooh, call out on the Earth Power. He knows he's down to 1 Seed Flare.
I like that because Seed Flare never kills the Gliscor. Oh wait, it kills. I thought it did like less than 50.
I think.
How much did it do there?
52.
It did 52 just now. I think it was doing like 48
You were seeing
or
it.
something.
You were seeing it through screens earlier too. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, that might have been at screens.
But I understand not clicking the Seed Flare there because it's kind of a 50-50. Because last time he went into the Cinder instead of the Gliscor. So, I mean, you're kind of tough there. Because then if you use your last Seed Flare on the Cinder, then you don't have it for Gliscor. But we don't know what the
So do you
move
think
is.
that what is it? 2 attacks and maybe Leech Seed, maybe Aromatherapy or something?
I feel like if it were Leech Seed, it
Is
would
what I
have
would
used
assume.
Leech Seed on one of those reads though, like on one of the
oh,
one of those
actually,
times that it like had to.
I think
figure
last
out.
move might be Gleam for Urshi.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. So
Then why
something
not
that
just
I'm wondering,
Gleam on some of those? I don't know.
what do you think Jortson brings in here between Azu and Cinderace? Do you think
Well,
Cinderace
he's
just
out
a
of Seed
force?
Flares. He's out of Seed Flares, so you just go.
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't know if a Jet KOs, but if we assume that like
it's
Jet
electric now.
doesn't, I know, but I'm pretty sure it's max Fizz Def. What did the Liquidation do? 40?
Was it Shaman that took it?
Yeah.
Plus Play Rough. Play Rough did
is
44
50.
neutral.
Okay, Jet will do about a
I
third
think-
of that. So
I think
it's
Jet
still.
just kills. I see no reason not to Jet.
Yeah. Okay, Jet's fine. Hit it.
Oh, Earth Power.
Goes for the double.
Oh wait, hold on.
Wait,
No,
this
no, no.
was- this
we
was-
went back. I
yeah.
went back too far. Yeah, because I was like, wait, that wasn't the scenario.
Okay, he actually just went
he
Cinderace
goes
with
Cinder. I guess that makes sense too, because you know Gallade can outspeed you. Like even if he swaps in on something, I don't know. And there's really I guess U-turn's pretty safe.
I don't think there's a wrong play because either way,
Yeah.
Cinderace comes in and U-turns, gets the kill, and you just have Azu in anyways.
Yeah, something kills Shaman, and then it's just if it's Cinderace U-turning out into Azu, then it's the same outcome as Azu just aquagening. Unless it's like banned, which I don't know if it is, because maybe that changes if you're aquagening or not.
True.
So there's a Shiyu. Surely now you just Jet, yeah.
Okay, there's the Jet, yeah. And then I
But
don't,
we don't know if
unless there's a Leaf Blade crit, I'm pretty sure
Thunder Punch,
Terra.
Liquidation. Oh,
Oh, the defense drop. Oh, I actually think that matters.
how much did it do?
I'm pretty sure this Jet doesn't KO
Because
without the defense drop. But then there is a Cinderace there to
Liquidation.
just KO after.
Liquidation 62.
It does
So we do
a
what
little
is it?
less than half of that.
Yeah.
It'll do like 30 on the Jet.
So defense drop did matter for the Jet, but I guess it really just matters for diff.
Yeah, I think it just saved one diff for Dirtson there.
Unless no, he's 61. I was gonna say like, does he have any shot that like a like a vacuum wave finishes off Cinder? But
True.
So
Yeah, check that. I'm interested in what the Shaman set was. Jortson in chat is saying that Shaman was modest.
Yeah, you might be able to figure that out by like when it like in game. They might have been able to figure that out just by the rolls.
From the seed flare calc.
Yeah, but still max HP. In his boots.
I'm surprised. It was taking not very much damage.
Terra Blast. That's right, because it's a Terra Captain. And I guess wow, that does kind of screw you over against a Gliscor. Terra Electric, Terra Blast, and Earth Power, and then your only other move has 8 PP.
Yeah.
Against a stall beast. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of questionable. But
It's well, to be fair, Shaman's never gonna have the tools to deal with every Gliscor set. I don't think it mattered. Jordan says I could play. He could have play roughed, but didn't want to lose to Miss. Yeah, I think Miss is the only way you lose that. You do still get a Jet in if you miss the play rough. I think you made the right call because you just want to get.
It's just a diff difference.
You just want to get Gallade into range of like even just the U-turn or something because you don't want to miss Pyro Ball.
I think Liquidation without a defense drop into Aqua Jet 100% puts him into range for U-turn because it's stab U-turn.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
it should be in range, and you can at the very least, you can calc how much the liquidation
What else did Cinderace have? He might have had something else that just guaranteed hits. Yeah, like Pyro Ball or something, or not Pyro Ball.
Liquidation into Jet into U-turn guarantees that win, right?
Yeah.
That's the right play.
But
I agree.
If for whatever reason it doesn't, then Iron has just higher base power and also 100% accurate. So it's like I think one of those two finishes it off at Liquidation to Jet range.
Yeah, I actually maybe I'm not convinced that it's the right play because if Gallade is Leaf Blade over Thunder Punch, I'm pretty sure the Leaf Blade KOs Azu, and it has a high crit rate, so it's even more likely. And then after just one Liquidation, it might be out of range of U-turn.
How much does Ironhead do?
Ironhead?
That was the other move that Cinderace had.
Oh, Ironhead would do more than U-turn actually. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think that's just a better thing to click because you're probably dead to whatever it clicks anyway. It doesn't matter that you're becoming Steel type.
Person says Jet into Pyro is also good, but the accuracy on Pyro,
it's
you
the
do
same
at least
problem
get
as Play Rough at that point.
Yeah, the high, like the high roll end is you get 2 Jets because it's not Leaf Blade, it's Thunder Punch. Which obviously it was.
Which Thunder Punch. Did we already see Thunder Punch? No, that was the first time we saw it.
No, that was the first time it was clicked.
But either way, I think it's fair to say that against an Azu, when you're prepping, when you haven't seen anything with the set yet, if you have the option between a grass move and an electric move, on the off chance that they are Sap Sipper, I think you just run the electric move anyway, so it's probably a safe bet.
Person says T-Punch for Steela though. Crazy that Thunder Punch does less damage. Does less damage than close combat to Steela, so I don't like that justification.
Was there a Steela that didn't come?
Yeah, Jordan has not Terra, sorry, just regular Celesteela.
Regular, okay. And it was Clay. Oh yeah, we knew that. We saw the turns. Covert Cloak Reuniclus.
Oh, interesting. I imagine. Wait, actually, what's that for? Must just have been for Shaman, or Dark Pulse flinches on Chi-Yu. That would have been funny.
Skull burns.
But I mean, you're going into Terra Water. See, this is what I was kind of curious about. Is the Terra type on Reuniclus was Water, which doesn't resist the move that the Chi-Yu clicks against Reuniclus. Right? Like it'll be clicking the dark move against
I think it's fair though that the Azu just does kind of beat the Chi-Yu.
Yeah.
I don't think
it was Assault Fest, right?
For that. I think so.
We look.
Yeah, change moves. So. And Facade. So maybe coming in on a Scald.
Oh, I actually kind of like that. I mean, you don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe Knock is nice though. But it doesn't look like the game plan here was to set any rocks, so you don't care too much about dropping people's boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless, I think it was a very high win percentage, like potential win rate, no matter what you clicked. If you click Liquidation, or if you just click 100% accurate moves.
But also, like, if it came down to it and you chose the most volatile options both times, like 2 90% rolls, both of them probably killing, I think you're
just worried,
good
like I
either
said
way.
again, about if Gallade was Leaf Blade over Thunder Punch and KO'd the Azu, then it's a full HP Gallade versus a full HP Cinderace. And you have to. I actually don't know if that kills. Let me do a little
Oh, right,
calc
because
here.
it wouldn't have even gotten that first liquidation.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, but that's only if it crit. I mean, that's only if it gets the Leaf Blade crit, though, right?
No, Leaf Blade is 90 base power versus Thunder Punch is
Okay, so it
75.
is
So I'm
just
pretty
something.
sure it just KOs.
Yeah, probably.
It was max HP though. All right, let me just calc this out. It was Jolly Gallade.
Unless it was a really high roll. It is. Gallade, I minimized it. No, I'm on the wrong team.
Leaf Blade does 69.8 to 82. And what was it at?
It was Jolly, by the way.
Yeah.
It does how much?
Is that 72? So
yeah.
its lowest roll is effectively 70 to 82.
So there's a small chance that also doesn't kill.
It's a chance that it doesn't kill, but also high crit rate, I think, kind of negates that.
Offsets it.
Yeah. So that was actually pretty losable.
This was a scarf. This was a scarf Chi-Yu, by the way. I don't know if we talked about that.
Was Scarf? Oh, okay.
So maybe
Then Pyro Ball never kills. You're out if it's Leaf Blade and it KOs Azu is, I believe, just an Iron Head flinch.
Yeah. So wait, I just want to look at this again. So the U-turn does make sense there, but either way, I almost would have said, let's put the Gallade in against the Azumarill, because like you I guess you don't know for a fact, but like realistically, you're not killing it. Maybe it comes out to try and put it in range of the Thunder Punch, but then you're just probably losing a 1v1 to Cinderace, or maybe losing.
Oh,
but I would think
see.
that maybe instead of bringing because you already sacked the Shaman here, it was gonna die either way. Maybe just put the Gallade in here.
I do recall Gensuzu saying in the post-game chat that his out was that Jordan didn't have Jet. But I think if you see Assault Vest, you gotta assume Jet.
Yeah, if it's Assault Vest, you know it's physical. We already said that like Facade's basically an extra bonus move, right? Like if we're talking about 2 move slots, what else are you bringing? Of course you're bringing Jet against the potential Scarf Chi-Yu, right? Like
yeah, 100%.
So I think that banking on that was a mistake over just banking on the Gallade maybe being able to get a kill.
Yeah. Regardless, I think it's like an extremely small margin for Gallade to win here, and it has to be exactly Leaf Blade.
Yeah.
And I feel like if it was Leaf Blade, it would have come in instead of Chi-Yu here.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think like if you have a good read on the situation, you could just know that it's not Leaf Blade because it didn't try to revenge the Azu. Would have liked to see Jab Gallade. I think Leaf Blade is better. Riz says, why would you bring Leaf Blade when it could be Sap Zipper? Sap Zipper is really troll, honestly.
Jab would at least have the poison chance, though, which would kind of make up for any lower BP. Just like the same chance as I mean, not the same chance, like a much higher chance than just like relying on a crit.
Yeah. Regardless, I think we're kind of beating a dead horse here. It was a pretty narrow margin for Durston to lose. I do think Jet was the play instead of the liquidation, in case, like I said, a crit, even a thunder punch, para, or like any crit or the Leaf Blade. But
yeah, it's a good game though. And we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, sorry, I know we kind of stole the spotlight from you, Lee. Did you have any thoughts on like any sets or any of the like end game that happened there?
I think the Assault Vest Azumarill was a really good bring, like from the start. Whenever you're looking at a Chi-Yu, just water fairy just looks really good with an Assault Vest there. Because like, what's Chi-Yu gonna do against it? The end game, I think Shaman not having a third move that could have hit Gliscor was really felt in the end.
Yep.
But the Terra type itself was clutch. It saved that Gliscor from just cleaning on turn 5.
Yeah.
I think Jordan saw no flying resist and just kind of said, let's go for it.
Is there no flying resist on the team?
I don't remember.
No,
Like,
there's
on,
not.
like the whole
It
roster?
was specifically Terra Electric Shaman. On the whole roster, let me check.
That's what I'm wondering.
Surely there's a steel type in there somewhere,
There's,
but...
there's a Glamora. And the Scizor is a Steel type, which doesn't resist it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
But yeah, it would have been only Glamora, which your EQ dispatches really quickly. So.
Right. And if it does come in on an aggro, then it breaks any sash or anything. Well, anyway, let's.
Okay.
Let's look
Yeah,
at
that was our
hustle
All-Star game. We do have... Yeah, so here we have actually Baby Dragon Zard versus Hamburger. You want to swap the sides? Yeah.
I just remembered.
We have... It's Terra
Zarude.
Pawn and something else with Zarude and something else. I think those are the only
Rock,
things that
water,
matter.
bug. Yeah, those are just base.
Okay, it's
this is
Zarude and
Pawn.
Regice versus... Actually, it's Pawn and Chandelure.
So Chandler. Oh, so they're both just stab.
Okay, and then what's Zarude? Fairy?
Yeah.
Interesting. Terra Zarude something that... I mean, I say this every week, but we've had our eyes on Terra Zarude all season long, just to kind of see how it does. It's been gaining a lot of traction lately, I think, because of how good it's been in Paldea decks, as well as the fact that a lot of the NBA was recently playing in like a pretty big Paldea decks tournament, right? With when we had our PGP team. I think it's gained a bit more traction now in that decks, and I'm kind of a believer. I think it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And I mean, Zard now is 4-0, or 3-0 rather, with going into this game with the Zarude, like undefeated going into this game. So it was looking really strong. And I forget who else has it. Fresh has it in Swarm, and Impulse has it in Hustle.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan, we were talking about like the thick fat AV just like completely denying Chiyu.
I like the huge power better than the thick fat, though. I think that's a little
realistically
overkill.
you still do just handle it super well just with the AV, so having the huge power with the jet is pretty important.
Losing a 4x week is almost always value. Yeah, it's definitely partly value and partly like Zarude has an underestimated defensive stat line.
Yeah.
I think it's like over 100 in all of its defenses, or at least very close. Let me double check here.
And it also has like
it's 105, 105, 95. So it averages over 100 in all defenses. Has a pretty good speed stat, pretty good attack stat. Like, it's fast enough that you don't have to invest to outspeed things that are like 80, 75 and below without much investment. And then it has a high enough attack stat that running Swords Dance or Bulk Up is usually good enough. So you can just go pretty all into defenses. Running Jungle Healing to prevent status. Yeah, like Drick says, Jungle Healing is nice. I don't think it's necessary.
If you know you're going against something that can burn a lot, and actually maybe even more valuable in Nat decks where more things have Scald.
Yeah, true.
But
I do think Covert Cloak is also just pretty decent as an item, but the fact that you can Terra into whatever defensive type means that Leftovers plus Jungle Healing is just really strong as well. Yeah, it kind of removes its own counterplay, which is very good.
Yeah. It also has like that Gen 8 and later move pool where like its coverage isn't great. So having the Terra to enhance like your sweeping potential just by like giving you an extra type that you don't normally have is pretty nice too. Or you just go all into like close combat or something, right? Like when you're just having multiple options.
Yeah, close combat, Drain Punch, Acrobatics.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of all you need. Rock Slide too for things like Moltres that usually come in on grass moves.
But like ice sometimes it can be good for like a particular like flying type that's a problem, or like electric for the birds or fire for the birds.
Yep.
It's
So
kind
on the
of
other
the
side,
Steelbirds, I
we
mean.
on the other side though we have Terrapon and Terra Chandler. And I feel like Terrapon is actually, I know they do very different things, but I do think it's kind of comparable to Terra Zarud in like at least in offensive capabilities. Where
Yeah.
I know Pawn always has to be grass, but I think even into things like the
Well,
Scizor that
this
we see it
pawn.
into now, or the
Oh,
Moltres.
this pawn does have to be grass. He can hold any
Yeah,
item,
this one
but
has
he
to be
does have
grass.
to be grass.
Yeah, so I think they're like kind of two peas in a pod, where it's things that like are really good value, are tiered fairly moderately, not too aggressively. Give Zarid Wicked Blow? Nope, they shouldn't.
He does not have Lariat in Paldea decks though, so that is something he only has
Really?
in that decks.
What does it use? Crunch?
Yeah, Crunch, or Knock,
Huh.
but
Oh, it has Knock though. Okay.
yeah.
Wait, why does it have Knock but not Lariat?
I think it's just the way that it got Lariat. It might have been a move tutor before, but or maybe it's or maybe it's like an event.
Yeah,
or
Crunch,
something.
Knockoff,
But I guess Mythicals are
Throat
always
Chop.
event. I just remember
Huh.
seeing in Paldea decks that it didn't have Lariat.
Weird. Okay, so take us away. Where do we think this game is starting?
Lamora lead, usually pretty safe to bet on. And maybe a Landorus to check it.
I'm wondering. I guess it kind of depends on like what Cinder's set is too. If it's like just a choice set, like that could be a viable lead into just about any of these. Like a Scarf
like
Cinder
Empoleon.
into it. Well, you just U-turn in front of Empoleon.
That's fine though. And I think even like a Shukaberry Empoleon would be really nice here. You can beat a Lando lead.
Yeah.
Empoleon's on the Lando team.
Can I get rocks? Oh wait, it's on. Sorry, what am I looking at? I have this
Maybe
replay really small. Oh, it's Slowbro. Why does that look like Lando from really far away?
It doesn't.
It sure do.
um.
I'm gonna switch these screens here so that I can have the stream a little bit bigger.
But yeah, I think Cinder lead makes the most sense because like, if you're a Scarf Cinder, which I think Scarf Cinder is a good bring into the Darkrai just in general.
Yeah, true.
That makes sense.
So like you know you're gonna outspeed anything here except a Scarf Darkrai, right? So just click U-turn.
Yeah, and even then, I don't think Scarf Darkrai ever kills you. And
No, that's what
you
I'm
just
saying.
have-
Like you're not worried about
Yeah.
anything here outspeeding you because the only thing
yeah.
that can
Meanwhile,
is
your
gonna-
U-turn could probably kill.
It would kill Darkrai. It would do a chunk even to Deoxys.
So, what do you think about Chandelier lead into the Cinderace lead?
I still think it's like it just depends on how confident you are in what your swap for Chandelure is, which I'm sure you have something here that you're confident in, whether it's like a Spidef Slowbro or AV Slowbro. I guess Slowbro like doesn't like the ghost, but there's again it kind of depends on what the teams are. I would think that like if you see the Terra Chandelure, like you have something prepped for it. I still think that just U-turning on it is fine. Like
Seeing Terra Fire makes me think it's probably a choice set.
Yeah. It might be Scarf too. So again, a lot of this hinges on
You
like
turn
the
on
idea
the,
that Cinderace would be
Chandelure,
Scarf.
you might get burned.
Oh, that's right. I
Oh,
didn't think
that's
about
true.
that.
Yeah, because you turn into the bug, but it might also be Flash Fire.
Mm.
Yep. It might
Still a
also
risk
be
you don't want to
Flash Fire
take.
this.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Glamora. I guess we didn't really talk about Glamora lead. That's kind of tried and true for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, we talked about that when we talked about Empoleon, because Empoleon's pretty
Oh, did
safe
we?
into the Glim. Like Shukaberry, I think is just really nice.
What gets Earth Power? Oh yeah, with the Shuka. Well, to be fair, you were talking about the Shuka for the Lando.
I was talking about
team.
it for the Lando, yeah.
for the VGC.
I can see them
Landos
now. I
next
can
to
see them
him.
more clearly now.
Yeah. So it is Darkrai.
Hard
Going
switches.
straight into the Empoleon. So does that tell you anything about the Darkrai set? That he
Might not
comes
have
out as a
Psychic.
that he comes out as a lead. Well, aside from just like
Yeah.
the move pool, like does it tell you what he wants to do? If you're
think
leading
it-
him,
Yeah, it
into
might have been
potential
lead for
Cinder.
like a Slowbro lead, but I don't think I like that.
I don't think Slowbro.
I think it tells you more about the Empoleon than it tells you about the Darkrai. This Like switching into this means it could still just be Shookaberry, could be defog, so that any T spikes or hazards that it's setting don't stick.
Yeah, but I think that's a fair guess either way. That's probably what
Yeah.
Empoleon's gonna do.
Yeah, it's not a
yeah, it
stretch
swaps
of the
right out.
imagination.
Wait, was that a? I paused like in the middle of that. Did they both switch turn 1? Yeah, they did. They did. They both.
guess,
that was in the middle of turn 1 that I paused, but they both switched.
The Glim might have switched out, expecting Darkrai to Psychic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. You haven't seen anything yet. You preserve your balloon too, even if it's not psychic.
Yeah, that was definitely meant for an anti-Lando lead.
Yeah. Or like an anti-Chandler. So Clef doesn't like this, right? Like,
yeah, I don't think this was the switch. I feel like Slowbro's a little bit more safe.
I think it's more reactive to the Darkrai, but not more like covering all the options of like, oh, what if Darkrai also doesn't want to be here?
Oh, this was the switch on. Yeah, you're right.
Because
but I don't think it needed to. Yeah, but I don't think it needed to take this Flash Cannon here on turn 2. Is kind of what I was thinking.
They swapped on the same turn.
Yeah, and now it's taking a Flash Cannon.
Now it's taking. Okay, yeah, that's like we didn't see it take anything yet.
It's good. You went back.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. I was like, Clef doesn't really like being in that position, but then I guess it doesn't really matter, right? But
we've completely reset.
Just kind of reset. Knocking lefties.
But now its evasion is down, so the pumps will hit.
Why would you pump over Flash Cannon though? Is that stronger?
You would if you were on the same line of joking that I was.
Oh. You know,
I mean, eventually this will get a Spit-F drop.
If this were Wigglytuff, though, the defog would have boosted its Spatak.
Didn't ask.
There's the Sliver. So, and the Toxic. Wow, that's kind of a rough couple turns there.
What do we have on this Empoleon? It's defog, Flash Cannon, Toxic.
Probably Scald.
I would imagine last move is either Scald or Flip Turn or Roost.
It had lefties.
I don't think you have room for rocks here. You're probably going to give rocks to either Lando or
I don't think
Deoxys here.
I think Rooster or a water move makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's unfortunate. You really got kind of like negative. Well, not negative value. You did knock the lefties and also scout the lefties that they're not a Shookaberry. But still, your Clef kind of came out of that a little rough. T-Wave.
Trading status.
Yeah.
Into Pawn. I think that's
on the port.
Yeah, I feel like teleport's pretty
safe
telegraphed there.
Yeah.
Like it's safe, yeah. I feel like Empoleon can just stay in and just like a Flash Cannon. Like I don't think very much is gonna stick, but one of those things, I don't think there's too much wrong with just staying in.
And now that the Slowbro is toxic, even though toxic is better for a regen mon than regular poison, it still does cut it a little bit, where like every little bit of extra damage on it does add up. So I agree, just kind of getting a hit on it might have been better there.
Yeah, over the course of the game, it could mean the difference between the Slowbro having to switch in one extra time to get back to full, which can nab you a lot of like momentum or give you a setup turn or whatever.
So is this Zard? Is that what we said? I don't recognize the
Baby Dragon Zard.
Okay, yeah. He's really kind of in control here with these pivots. We see the port into the Scizor, and then another swap into the U-turn.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like at
that
a
does
certain
21
point,
as well. So maybe it's either offensive Lando or like banded Scizor.
Yeah.
We don't know technically, but Zard will know based on the.
But also like,
no status.
Yeah. I guess you can't keep the ogre in on the U-turn as much as you could have.
No, you really can't.
On the teleport.
The best thing you can do with Pawn is go for U-turn. It doesn't even necessarily have U-turn. If it's Sword Stance, it might not have it. So yeah, I think this was your best play. You kind of just got swapped around on because you went Pawn on the Slowbro as it teleported. That was, I think, maybe not a misplay, but I think it was an inaccuracy at the best.
Yeah, I agree. So another
You get to pop the balloon. Now something's getting poisoned.
Well, not
Okay,
Empoleon.
no, there's an Empoleon.
And Empoleon
Yeah,
is the defogger. Oh, but there's the Earth Power, and you know he's not Shuka or AV. He does get the defog off, but he can't take another one of those. And actually, the lefty knock coming in pretty importantly there, because then now he's in range to get hit by another one.
I was gonna say, I think you have to read the Lando coming in here.
Yeah,
or else the momentum really starts to shift.
Again.
It's Swords Dance though over U-turn.
So
no, but wait, it's SD U-turn. Hold on. That's kind of crazy.
I mean,
thinks he's Scizor.
Against Zarude, Slowbro, maybe.
Terra Zarude.
Yeah, but still. On paper, it looks pretty good. Right?
Yeah, I guess maybe if you're Swords Danced, you don't expect them to click U-turn. You expect them to click Earthquake, so you stay Grass type.
Yeah. There's the bulk.
Go bulk up. Could get dangerous. The Deoxys is the only real way of...
Ooh,
no,
yes.
its only way of dealing with this is through status. Bulber's nice.
Not gonna survive another one.
It is paralyzed now.
Yeah.
Iron Defense is ignored by Darkest Lariat, importantly.
Oh, and he has the jungle healing and just get rid of the para.
Oh.
So that was a waste of 2 turns.
Oh, man.
For the miss into that. Yeah, this is the root I would assume just clutches this out, right? Because even the Flame Body Burn, you just heal it off. Terra Grass. Speed.
This should do like 40 though. Okay, just a little shy.
And he has lefties. He has lefties.
Switches out.
Kill. Whoa.
Oh, okay, wait. Okay, hold on. Pause. That was a little... Okay. So the Darkrai switched in to take the Darkest Lariat to KO
so
with a Sludge
the Cudgel did 36. After Lefty's recovery, he's at 41.
Either this was the read of Zard's lifetime, assuming that Darkrai was coming in on the Darkest Lariat, but what other moves did it reveal another attack?
Darkrai or who? Zarude?
Zarude.
We've only
I feel like
seen
you just
Lariat.
click your other move. You don't need to click Lariat again here. You can just click
what if it's Power
Blast
Whip, though? You could miss.
I don't know if it's Power Whip. Maybe
Either
that's
way,
fair. I do think...
I think you just stay in and click something, though.
Yeah, I don't know why
Because it doesn't...
Worst case scenario... Yeah, I mean, Lariat will do like, what, 50 or 60 or something to this Darkrai?
+2. It'll do a decent chunk.
And I do think the Sludge Bomb will KO, but you just always, like... Hamburger's hand is so forced with this Darkrai switch that even if Zarude stays in here, it has to Sludge Bomb. Has to Sludge Bomb. Or like Hypnosis and try and pop
Trailblaze. Even Trailblaze would be kind of sick here. Right?
Maybe.
If it's speed invested at least. You would think that like after...
Yeah, we don't know the last move.
Yeah.
So we don't know what it is necessarily. If it's a 100% accurate move, you just click that.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, Darkrai comes in, takes, let's just say it takes 50 from the Lariat, the +2 Lariat, and then you know that it has to be clicking Sludge Bomb.
Yeah.
So you have a free Scizor swap anyways, and you're in this exact scenario, except Darkrai has 50% HP gone.
Yeah.
Or if you clicked another 100% accurate move, then
it could
just be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the land isn't. Yeah. That's rough for the... So...
Depending on the set, Cinderace might KO.
I'm just trying to figure, because I paused in the middle of a turn again, so I'm trying to figure out like where the turn began. So you turn on the same turn because there's a double switch, and then Cinder comes in on the U-turn, right? Okay.
Yeah, Pyro KOs. It might just.
But
KO.
he has +1 speed though, so
it could be Sucker Punch. Not sure if you can calc a Choice Band or anything like that on Cinderace. It was a nice read.
Tantrum, and it puts the T-spikes up. Which
there's only
could be
a couple
rough
things
for
that
the
can be
Darkrai.
T-spiked.
CC here? No.
Nope.
Defog. Wait, but you're Fairy.
Oh, that was kind of crazy. I think Zard was reading that the last move, the unrevealed move, wasn't like Scald or something.
It revealed Roost.
Oh, it's revealed Roost. Okay, so
But Flash Cannon, though, like you don't want to take that.
Yeah, but is it clicking Flash Cannon on the Scizor? I don't think so.
Probably not.
You do just need to double
in general. I just think in general. Like, because what's he gonna do?
This is actually pretty hard to break. Like versus Empoleon is tough to break here.
Jungle healing.
Jungle healing, you take 1 billion
Toxic.
from.
But why are you toxic?
I think that was a
not
misplay.
just flash cannon.
Yeah, you take 1 billion from this.
And
Oh,
the
flash
that
cannon.
sucks.
Oh no.
And now he just jungle healings it off again, or maybe not. I guess he might
So
just know
sad.
that he wins. There's the
I
Darkrai
think
again.
yeah, this you can
There's
just go
the sludge.
Scizor on this. Okay, it didn't
he
even
survived
KO.
the sludge.
And it
Which
is
I
Terra
guess
Blast.
worth noting. He doesn't survive that sludge. The previous time he was in, where he was
Yeah,
because he's at 54.
And it was Terra Blast.
He
So
just-
in the scenario that it was +2 against Pawn, you click Terra
yeah,
Blast
you just
there
click Terra
on
Blast,
the Darkrai switch.
for sure.
Dies to Toxic, unfortunately. It was probably exact HP to
So-
die.
Oh, Bullet Punch. I guess
A
yeah,
Bullet
he
Punch
has
is
Bullet Punch.
cleans.
There's no way you're surviving that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just GG.
Mhm.
So it ended up working out.
Very interesting. Let's take a look at some of those teams.
Ignore stats. I don't think that came into play though.
What?
None
He
of
iron
these-
defense in front of the.
Yeah, Deoxys
Lariat.
clicked Iron Defense.
Oh, the Oxus did. Okay, I was trying to figure out who did that.
Yeah. So Hamburger tried to outstall the bulk
Yeah.
up since the bulk up will be slower, like ramping up slower than Iron Defense. But yeah, Darkest Lariat. It's a pretty niche thing to remember about Lariat, but it is an actual reason why it's a pretty decent move.
Yeah, I once actually it was during the monkey draft, I think. At some point there was a calc where it's like, oh, Lariat definitely kills after a CC, and then I forgot that it ignored the defense drop from the CC, so it actually didn't kill.
Wait, it ignores drops too?
Yep. It just
I actually
ignores,
didn't know
it just
that.
ignores stat changes. So
Wow.
I didn't realize it either. I was like, wait a minute, that's not what the calc said.
Yeah, I had no idea that it worked like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it actually was Sash Darkrai, so it wouldn't have died to the Zarude even if it switched in on the the Terra Blast,
Hmm.
and would have still been in the same scenario where Darkrai has to click Sledge Bomb on the +2 Zarude, and you have a free Scizor.
I was gonna say, like, Sash Nasty Plot as the lead, by the way. Don't forget this mon tried to lead against a Scizor makes almost zero sense to me. Right?
Mm,
What do
I
you
was
think you're
banned
gonna...
in Pawn, that's why I did so much.
Yeah. But, like, you see what I mean, though? It's like, if your plan is to, like, you're leading with the Sash, and you have Nasty Plot. If your plan is to
Yeah.
survive and get a Nasty Plot off, the Scizor
Well,
just
it's
kills
hard to get that off after Glamora has been in, because it's almost certainly going to have set up at least one hazard.
No, I think the Empoleon was doing a pretty good job of just making sure that the hazards didn't stay up. I don't think that
It couldn't do it any longer though, because remember, it couldn't take any more Earth powers.
Yeah, but we're still talking about turn 1 of the game, leading Darkrai.
Yeah. So I think that's why I think leading Darkrai is better than leaving the Sash in the back, because I think it's quite likely that by this point in the game that a hazard is up and stops Darkrai's Sash from actually putting in work. But like you said, the fact that there's a Scizor in the back kind of just means that it's never gonna sweep.
Yeah.
And
I just think
if it's
I think
unaware
that's
class,
just
it
when you
never
bring a
sweeps
different
either.
set, right? Like instead of
yeah.
a Sash Darkrai.
Yeah.
But anyway, what about you, Lee? Did he go
He's
AFK?
You might have muted.
Oh, whoops. Hello.
Any thoughts?
Of the Darkrai lead.
Just in general. We're gonna move on from this game soon.
No, I think.
Did you
we're
want to
good.
check any sets? Were there any that we were gonna check that we didn't look at?
Well, Drix is asking in chat, does Sacred Sword do the same thing?
I don't know.
Like ignoring defense. Is it all defense that changes or all defense ups?
Let me see.
So let me double check here.
Because I think Sacred Sword is specifically just ignores defense.
It says ignores target stat change.
It does say all stats. Okay. I was gonna say because I think Lariat specifically is like all stats, but I guess this is too.
They actually both have the exact same text on their on their effect. They both just say ignore the target's stat stage changes.
So probably.
So it
probably
is the same on
way.
Sacred Sword. Yep. As written, at least.
Yeah. Let's check a calc. Let's see. So. Yeah, Lariat does not change at all. And then let's just see a Sacred Sword. Assuming it does the same thing. Yeah, Sacred Sword also doesn't increase with lowered defense. Yep. So, it doesn't come up often. It's really only like a CC drop or a very niche case
drop.
where yeah, like a move drops defense and then like you come in on revenge.
Interesting. Good to know.
But yeah.
Was it unaware? Oh, it was actually Magic Guard Clef. So maybe Plot could have done a little bit more work. But yeah, with the Scizor being up and around, it's pretty tough. Darkrai doesn't have fire coverage, right? So you can't even read it.
I don't know if it does.
Like, I don't think it even has access to fire coverage.
Someone else would have to answer that because I don't know.
Oh, I don't think it does, but I'll check. Maybe like Incinerate or something dumb.
Ember. No, actually, Nasty Plot Ember probably kills Scizor.
It does get Incinerate. That's funny.
Hold on, I'm doing a calc. +2 Darkrai versus Scizor.
What's crazy is in order for that play to work, you have to like specifically click Nasty Plot turn 1 on the Clef switch, hard soul read that it's not unaware, and instead of going for the Sludge Bomb, go for the Incinerate on the Scizor switch, reading the Sludge Bomb. It's the only way that play ever works.
Yeah, well actually, Timid, unboosted in any way, no item, no stat boost, Darkrai. Already Oko Scizor with Incinerate. You don't even need to boost. I mean, granted, if it's a fully defensive set, it's a roll. Or well, if it's max HP, it's a roll. If it's max HP, max SPDF, it probably doesn't kill.
Yeah.
But at that point, you're much less concerned about it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the only way you actually get Scizor in versus Darkrai is if Clef specifically isn't unaware and you read it.
Yeah.
Because if it's not boosted, then Clef can still try to 1v1 it.
Yeah.
Especially the SPDF set that Zard brought. And if it is unaware, then you're screwed.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so that's that. We have our Swarm replay next. And who do we got here? Got Stormtide and Stella. Let's switch to Stella's POV here for you.
Oh boy. Sorry
Okay,
about
let's see what
that.
we can
Was
do here.
doing math. Oh,
Huh?
I thought it said math. It said
Was
something.
doing math. That says math.
That's like one letter off.
So Stella's captains are Celesteela and
Celesteela.
Lycanroc. Celesteela and Lycanroc Day. And Stormtides are Salamence and Yuxi.
That Terramence, dude, I'm telling you. I
Mhm.
expect
So
a good
there's
game
no-
from him.
So there's no Lycanroc from Stella, but the other three captains are here. When you have Terramence, it's pretty hard to assume that Yuxi's gonna click Terra. I imagine that it's probably relegated to like Trick Room Setter for Ursa or just
Yeah.
Rock Setter. It's really
Right.
nice to have one of the spirits around when your ground type is not a Rock Setter. So I imagine when it comes, it's pretty much almost always gonna carry rocks.
Yeah. But I also think that like Terra Poison on the Levitate Mon in general is just, it's kind of like running the Terra Water when I was saying with the Reuniclus before, where it's just like, if nothing else, if you don't plan on terroring it, like it's just a solid defensive typing for it. I think that's probably what the case is here with Uxie, where it's just like, hey, you know what? If Mence dies
Yeah.
or Mence doesn't get an opportunity to Terra where it's like better that it stays dragon flying and then dies, you have a Terra poison, right? Like it's
Yeah,
always
it'll
gonna
be
end.
a pretty good. Yeah, it'll be a good Valiant check no matter what point in the game.
Yeah.
It's unless you have something on your team that's forcing Valiant to bring Psychic, which looking at the team, there is actually a Sneasler on Stormtide's team that didn't come. But it's tough for Valiant to actually like bring the Psychic move because it's never hitting the Sneasler in the first place, right?
Yeah. Wait,
Unless
is
it's, like,
Booster? I
switching
always
in.
forget. Is Booster banned for Valiant?
It is. Yeah, it's
Okay.
banned.
So there's also a good chance that it might just be choiced, and if it's choice, you don't want to choice in a
It could
Psychic
be.
against a Dark type.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like more often than not, it's better to be like a choice Moonblast or choice post combat or something.
Yeah. All right. I think the Uxie lead makes sense with the rocks. If we want to do that,
We see what type is that? Ground elements?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also the Mega
And
Manectric might also
Dragon
be a good lead.
Steela.
I would think
I'm-
that the Crook leads here, right, on this side.
That does make sense. It's not great into the Meow lead, because the
True.
Flower Trick ignores the Intimidate.
Yeah.
It might be good into Manectric lead, but I don't think
It would also be good into the
Manectric
Uxie
is a good lead.
too, though. Is it dark?
That's true. Maybe you can catch off a slow Yuxi with a taunt.
Well, even just
just
like
get
being
your own
dark
rocks.
type in general, just fucking smack it.
Yeah, I feel like Yuxi in general is kind of okay with taking a knockoff and taking like 60 from a stab knock
Probably,
when
but it's
defensively
still-
invested to trade for rocks.
still something
Especially on
that's
this team
supposed
where
to
there's
deal
not
with.
much removal.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what we got.
We got Meow and the Crook. So,
It's the Mao Crook, yeah.
so you
I
think he's just
expect-
clicking Flower Trick.
I would expect the threat of Flower Trick is enough for Steela to come in, so Meow can probably U-turn.
Yeah, U-turn still hits
Um,
super effective even with the drop. That's
Yeah,
probably
so
the
it'll
best
still
value.
it'll still
Oh,
do
he
a good amount of shit.
He just Flower Tricks.
It's the
And
read
it
right.
doesn't kill though.
Hmm.
Superpower. Oh, but he's not dark anymore. So it's not super effective.
Yeah, maybe that was. I don't want to say a misplay.
Maybe just
Well,
not really
actually,
think-
I do think that is a bit of a misplay because
I think
even if
it
it,
could
if it
just been like
stays in,
forget. Yeah. like-
if it stays in and hits you with the obvious Flower Trick, you want to like click knockoff or get your rocks up or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you think it's U-turning into, let's just say into Blood Moon, because your rocks are getting up or something, you still want to hit that with like, I guess
Yeah.
Superpower is the play there actually.
But you're fat. No, but you're faster than Blood Moon. Probably.
Yeah, I think maybe knock into
you knock
Superpower
into
is good.
superpower. Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, so maybe an inaccuracy there as well.
Yeah. Oh, but you just swap. I
Hard
guess
switches,
both-
maybe a Psyshock from Sylveon, but no, Manectric just comes in.
Yeah.
On the
Jab.
poison job, physical Tentacruel. I forget offhand what
body and
Tentacruel's
tin.
attack stat is. I'm not gonna lie. Let me check.
I don't think it's anything.
It's 70 attack.
I was gonna say like 80 or something. So worse than
So I
that.
mean, Jab probably does about 50 to Sylveon unless it's like full defense. Oh, that's funny though. It gets the clear body proc
Yeah.
on the Intimidate.
I was
to let it
wondering what
flip
this
turn.
meant, but now I see double made.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Tensions rising in the mansion.
Drick says my biggest stress versus Stormtide was definitely the Mence. Yeah,
I feel like
Terramence
that's
has been-
anyone prepping against Terramence is gonna
Yeah, 100%.
gonna have a rough time. Sorry, I pressed play and like looked at the chat. So I just want to see what happened here again. So we see the T-bolt, doesn't do a lot, and the flip turn. Okay.
It actually didn't do as much as I thought. Maybe it's Assault Vest Tentacruel there.
Tentacruel is really good Spidef though.
It does have really good spit out,
It's like
but don't forget that
110 or
Manectric
something.
has like pretty good spectral attack too.
Yeah,
Manectric
but
is
it's pretty good
135.
special attack without a boost though, because it's just mega. Like we've seen that before.
Yeah,
I
let
think
me
that's
just
something
double check
that
here.
something to keep in mind with megas a lot that people sometimes don't really consider is like 135 base offensive stat isn't that much crazier than what we see when like a base 110 has a life orb on it, right?
Yeah, that's true. So what? Sorry, how much did the T-Bolt do?
It was like 80
Did
or
58?
60 or something. 60%.
58.
58, yeah.
Yeah, so that is within a calc of just Spadef Tentacruel.
Yeah. Makes the most sense.
Instead of Assault Vest.
Because you're also dealing with Blood Moon as well. Because Blood Moon doesn't get Side Shock, right?
But hold on, what did the Poison
No.
Jab did a lot, right? What did the Poison Jab do?
Do like 40. 38.
38. So it actually has attack investment on Tentacruel, which
Unless
makes me
this
think
is
it's
minus
Assault
defense
Vest.
Manectric.
Uh-huh.
Assault Vest makes sense. So if we've seen Poison Jab flip turn, it's probably spin and then like
Something else.
liquidation or something.
Knock off.
Yeah, knock maybe. So okay, so the Volt Switch. That's smart because Volt Switch probably just kills from that point, right? Or maybe not. 90 to what? 70 or 80? Is Volt Switch 70 or 80? It's 80,
70.
right? Oh, it's 70. Then yeah, Volt Switch doesn't kill Tentacruel, I don't think,
Yeah.
because it only did.
I
58.
would imagine the... actually, yeah. If you're expecting a Crook Switch, I don't think there's actually too much to worry about. There might be a calc in there where Volt Switch kills. I'm not sure. It's undetermined, really, if this is Spadef or Assault Vest, so...
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to
just
calc
saying, like,
everything, I
based
don't
on
think there's-
58% from the 90 base power move, I don't think chopping off 20 base power is gonna do.
Yeah.
Much
If it
more
is
than
just
50.
Spadef and not Assault Vest, the Volt Switch does 42 to 49.
Okay, that's a guaranteed kill then. If it's just
Yeah,
Spadef.
well, 41.7, I should say. But I think there's attack invest in there somewhere.
Yeah. So there's a Volt Switch, and you're getting the spikes up. What's the hazard control?
Yeah, there's
over
no
here?
removal.
Is it just
Gotta
immense?
be immense. Yeah,
Which is
if
probably
any.
not.
Yeah, unlikely. A red card, interesting. Trades hazards.
There's the burst. I'm gonna slow this down actually, just because it's going
Okay.
fast. So
Yeah.
so Crook comes in on the Bursa. Are we sacking or are we thinking maybe it's setting up? Oh wait, was that
I think you
was
knock
that a double
here.
switch? That was a double switch. That's a
Interesting.
smart double switch though,
Pretty good switch. Yeah, that was good.
because now you have your superpower lined up, and Meow is actually Dark type.
Yeah.
So probably.
I think it was
Uxie
it was kind of
with
avoiding like Uxie's T wave or something. I don't think I like the superpower. It's another
So-
thing I feel like you can just knock.
I was gonna say I think
Knock is just safe in everything.
Because at worst, the Sylveon, who also resists the superpower, you're not only knocking its item off, but you're learning its set to a degree whenever you knock a mon that you haven't seen yet. It tells you a lot.
Yeah, I mean this is an information game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
These
So
leftovers
the U-turn
have really
with
put
the-
in work for Crook though.
with the defense drop. The
Mhm.
U-turn.
Would have died otherwise.
Yeah.
So these leftovers actually bought Stella these rocks.
Yeah. That's a good. I think that's a fine sack, which is what we're assuming he's doing here at this point.
Yeah, I mean you get one more
Um,
attack here.
And you know that, yeah, and then you get the knock and the lefties.
That's fine.
Yeah, because if you know that they can't really do anything about the hazards, then oh, and it's just wishing. Damn.
Oh, the crit. This Sylveon is just
It can't
dead
come
then.
back in. Yeah, that crit's huge.
Does wish back to the Manectric though. This is interesting because now you can overheat, or I guess it could have signal beam as well for the Crook, which is possible.
There's
Yeah,
a
there it
signal
is.
beam. That makes more sense.
What Terra type was a Steel? A dragon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dragon, I imagine, is like specifically for Manectric. 'Cause I think Manectric still outspeeds Celesteela when it's at +2 speed. Let me double check that. Assuming it's like setup.
405 versus double. If it's max speed Steela, then Steela would outspeed.
Yeah, Steela outspeed still, damn.
T-Bolt. Torch Song. And you survive another T-bolt.
I think it might still be worth
Oh,
to.
you know,
yeah.
you know.
Oh no, you don't.
You
Oh,
know,
man,
with the crit, I think that is fair though. It balances out the quick crit.
Yeah, that's true. I think it is worth for Stormtide to click the T-Bolt here and just get damage on the.
Because there's also a chance you get the para,
on the
right?
dirge. Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe there's also a roll too. Like maybe that was a low roll and then the high roll would
Maybe.
kill. I think.
But there's always a para chance, and the like
Always a
trying to
para
slack
chance.
off in front of an Electric means you're gonna get parried.
Yeah.
Light screen.
Oh, ice green's
Light
really good.
screen, light tend. Meteor beam power herb. Okay.
Bills actually hit. That's crazy.
I miss those.
This light screen is gonna do a lot of work. Yuxi definitely survived something here. Flinch. No flinch. So Trick Room. Oh, Ursa's gonna start popping off here.
Yeah.
Yeah, light screen lets Ursa come in pretty freely.
What I'm
here.
wondering, so like the dragon was just for the Manectric, right? And
I imagine, yeah.
so you tear a dragon in front of it. It puts the
Mhm.
light screen up, and then you start setting up.
Yeah, I'm looking
and
at
then
what
you're just
else.
faster. I was gonna say because like you didn't even take a hit from the Manectric, and now you're not steel type for the person or for the Ursa.
It does let you autotomize in front of the Manectric, which is pretty good. But I think it's pretty ballsy to read that Stormtide is bringing the Manectric in the first place, and then trying to set up on it in, as well.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty crazy.
but also like he knows your Terra Dragon, right?
Yeah.
So like, does he even hit you with an electric move? I don't know. Like I mean, we hadn't seen a light screen yet, right? Like that would be a kind of wild guess to see. For
You
it
would
to set up
usually
there.
expect a fire move in that last slot, or
Yeah.
Thunder Wave I've seen sometimes, or
Yeah.
Toxic.
But there's a chance it also just volt switches too, right? But either way, I think that you're losing a lot by changing your steel flying type that immunes the ground stab and resists the normal stab for just this, which didn't
True.
even hit you.
I mean, the thing is, though, if you don't Terra in front of the Manectric and it just hits you with T-bolts,
Yeah,
you're kind of just
yeah, you might
crying in
just
the
die.
club, you know?
But you are faster. Like after the what did we decide it was? Is it automatize or
Autotomize.
Autotomize.
Yeah.
Or where even is it? there it is.
Autotomize.
Autotomize, yeah.
Auto being the prefix for doing something to yourself, and then I guess autonomy or tomize.
Tomize being to
Yeah,
get
is
faster.
is to like shed something, to remove something.
to increase your speed by approximately 2 times and also lighten yourself.
Basically, it's dropping a massive dump. You know that like post dump clarity you get where you feel like you can just move the speed of light? Or is that just me?
Okay.
That might just be you.
Oh, huh. Okay.
It is like a spaceship that there's probably a lot of like waste that it has to dump off, right? So that's probably what it is.
Yeah, what's crazy is I think we said this last week. Even after atomizing and lightning Celesteela, it's still part of the heaviest weight class.
Yeah. Or at least heavy enough
So
that
it doesn't
Heavy Slam
actually-
doesn't get nerfed.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it's like 9999.
Yeah.
Air slash. Oh, we already saw this. So there's no flinch.
Yeah.
You get
I think if
trick room
the
wrong.
slash flinches there, it might have just been game.
Yeah, I mean it might.
But this trick room lets
still
Ursa
be-
come in.
Do we know what the
A Blood Moon
what
should
the
KO
invest-
here.
Wait.
Are you tripping yourself up again because you paused mid-turn?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
I was like, he just went first. Okay, so you survived the hyper voice anyway, and then he dies.
I don't like Hyper Voice.
Yeah, you just Blood Moon there.
Yeah.
It was
feel like if
throat
you're-
spray though.
I feel like you can just run
Maybe
Silk
that's why.
Scarf. Run like Blood Moon, Hyper Voice, so that
Or
you
just-
still have a normal move to click between
Yeah.
Blood Moon turns.
Surely you still have Blood Moon, right? Does
I would
hyper voice
imagine.
at +1 do as much as Blood Moon? Because Blood Moon.
Well,
might
the
also
Hyper Voice
stop.
isn't at +1.
Does the damage or does the boost happen after?
Damage happens first, yeah.
Yeah, that's how the move's got to finish.
Yeah, then just
You do your yelling and then
saw-
you give yourself the throat spray,
That's that. Yeah,
and
that
then you
makes
feel
sense.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like how like you see a dark move coming at you, and so you go, "Oh shit, can I eat my berry?" and then
Yeah.
reduce the damage. Happens before. So you see how much you take from the air slash. You take 40% through light screen.
Yeah, so you have to KO here.
Just Blood Moon.
Yeah, you have to.
Like because the throat spray does nothing for you when you just die this turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that tells me it maybe just doesn't have it. Maybe it was like Calm Mind, Moonlight, Hyper Voice, Earth Power.
Yeah, that could be.
I think if you're running Trick Room though, like you need to have a more offensive set. You can't be running setup.
Yeah.
You only have a couple turns to get what you want in, right? So
Salamence goes first here, and it can just click a dragon move.
True. I didn't think about that. Yep.
Or Quake. I guess
Earthquake is fine.
Skills. Yeah.
It's Terra Ground, but yeah, you Q kills without it.
Yeah. I think you keep the
It is Moxie.
I think you keep the Terra hidden until the Valiant comes out, so they have to guess.
Mhm.
Or even the Pawn, like you don't want to just go ground and then.
It's also going to go before the Valiant too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
and the
yeah.
Pawn. So Tentacruel has to come in, and then you EQ that.
That's actually kind of crazy. Trick Room, obviously for the Bursa, but the fact that Mence is getting value in Trick Room against 3 of these Mons because it's speed boosted Stila, Valiant, and Pawn. Mence is a Trick Room
Tentacruel's
Mon.
Tentacruel's speed ends up being a bane here, but
just
I would expect the
synthesis.
Mence is still faster.
Oh, Ogre Pawn.
Oh, clicks the DD.
As the Trick Room is falling off, so that makes sense.
So
Wingbeat.
okay,
Oh,
hold on,
misses
pause.
the
Oh.
Wingbeat.
Hold on, pause. Okay, so Pawn is slower than Mence here, so this is a bulky Pawn.
Yeah. And you do know it's physical at this point.
Yeah.
So maybe you're looking and see like, oh, he's not Terra Blast, so his options are limited for flying type moves.
What I would have expected there is like a Tentacruel sack on the Wingbeat to stall turns. So that
You mean right
Valiant
after
can
this?
come in. So after Mence KOs the whatever KO'd the Celesteela, I expected Tentacruel to come in.
On the DD
Or
turn.
or I guess you can go Pawn and then switch into Tentacruel on the move. But whatever, it doesn't matter.
Well, that would've been
Regardless,
bad,
sacking
DD.
Tenta. Yeah, that would have been awful. But sacking Tenta there kind of makes sense. This is just a crazy good play from Stormtide though. To use the Trick Room to pretend to be fast, really be slow, and then use the Dragon Dance to like when the Trick Room is ending to be faster
Yeah.
than everything. Really, really clever. Yeah, we see the DD.
This was the other half of the turn, the synthesis.
Yep.
So the Wingbeat misses, which is unfortunate. But also,
See, I think even
you're
without
still
the
resisting everything Pawn does. You've seen every move. So just staying Dragon Flying here resists literally everything it clicks.
I think that's fine. But I'm surprised that Pawn clicked Synth when it was slower. Because I'm pretty sure even just +1 dual Wingbeat KOs
Yeah.
full HP Pawn.
I mean, it just did.
This
Oh, wait,
is
no,
+2.
that was +2, yeah.
I
Well, and
imagine
actually, and
this
now
is
it's +3.
yeah. This can
And
just
maybe
EQ
after
everything
this
else for
it'll be
game.
+4, unless it's Scarf like Moonblast. But then, I don't think that crit
Not
matters.
Scarf.
I was gonna say that might be the place where I would Terra Ground, right? Because if it is Scarf Moonblast, then it's like you at least snuff that out, and then you're fine.
You have a
from
shot.
there on.
Yeah. Maybe if it's
There's
slow.
no
and
way that
fat, then-
Tentacruel comes in and kills you, right? Like even
No,
like,
no.
That's the only
It's
thing
Terra
to be
Ground
worried
EQ.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just click Terra. I don't know why you wouldn't there. It worked out, but like that just seems kind of like needlessly risky when Terra Ground just guarantees that you win at that.
I guess. Yeah, you run the risk of the Moonblast, but at least like having the Terra you see in the back does mean that you never lose to Valiant.
Yeah.
Whereas like if it is Scarf and KOs you even if you Terra, now you don't have Terra and you lost your Mence. Whereas this is I think maybe the safer play where if it is Scarf Moonblast and KOs Mence regardless of whether it Terras, you then have
Uxi's
the
25%
Uxie.
right now.
Yeah, but I think it can live a Moonblast when it's poison type. Corey says he likes to hold the Terra. Yeah, that might just be like a player
I'd be
thing.
curious. I want to see these sets.
Maybe like Specs Vacuum Wave KOs Mence if it Terra Grounds or something.
Red card.
We saw the red card Brock,
And
it was
we
Fizdef
did.
though, not Spidef.
It was Fizdef. I just want to see what Scarf Valiant Moonblast does to just max HP.
Moonblast does 16 to 19. The Terra Poison Yuxi. So it can live, maybe get another Trick Room off.
After the Terra Poison.
Not after the rocks, right?
Oh yeah, rocks actually kill it.
Oh yeah. Wait.
So yeah, this was dangerous. I don't think there's a reason to
16
not
to 19.
Terra then.
Yeah. Because Stormtide knows that Yuxi's not Spidef, right? So.
Yep.
Either way. I'm telling you though, Terra Mence without clicking Terra. I mean that's he's the scariest Terra captain.
Yeah, even a Specs Vacuum Wave to Mence after a Terra Grounds only does 30 to 36.
Yeah.
So yeah, Terra I think is a foolproof button to click.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Well, that was a good game. Let's take a look actually quickly at Stella's sets.
Oh yeah.
I'm interested in the Tentacruel and the Ogre Pawn.
And it was Lorb, by the way. Calm Mind Lorb with vacuum. It was AV HP. Yeah. So only
No attack of best.
so barely spit out. Yeah. Wait. So where were you?
Those jabs were
seeing-
doing a lot. I was seeing that it did more to
You said there was like
Manectric
no
than
way
it
that it
should've.
could do that much damage. Yeah.
yeah, it looked like it was doing more than it should have.
Maybe it was a mixed Manectric that was minus defense, but we didn't. Did we
That's
see
it.
everything? No, we didn't. It wasn't mixed. It was just modest.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It is
Maybe
HP. It was
I
even
read
HP.
the damage that it dealt.
Yeah. Or maybe you had like a screen up because didn't you have screens at some point?
He just had a light screen.
Oh yeah. Oh no! You know what it probably was? It probably wasn't clear body Tentacruel, and so it was automatically.
No,
calculating
I set
Intimidate.
clear body.
But are you sure it wasn't still just calculating the Intimidate?
It doesn't do it when you have that.
That's the only thing I could think of as to why it would be showing a lower number than usual.
Hey, what did the jab do?
38
know.
to Manectric.
38.
It's also-
The
was it-
roll with
Did you have an attack minus nature and just change the move maybe?
I have Jolly, but it doesn't matter as long as it's not minus attack.
Jolly.
Yeah, 38 is too much. So I have no idea what this is doing.
Did you change Manectric into its mega?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Early. Because it clicked Thunderbolt on it first.
Yep.
Oh,
There
it's
you go.
because it did the damage when it swapped. So it was actually base Manectric when it took the damage.
Okay. There we go. Now it's within the calc.
Yeah, that makes sense then. That's a very real mistake to make though. Like you could make that mistake as the player in that case too. Be like,
Yeah.
oh,
I guess I didn't
This-
realize
I
that
know that this
Manectric
did
gets
38%,
20
right?
defenses when it megas.
does it get any HP?
No megas get HP. It
Oh, really?
doesn't work that way. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, how would they make that work? Do you heal? Is it like Zygarde complete, where you like heal when you mega?
It would be like Dynamax, where when you Dynamax into the form, it just scales it up. You
No,
gain
doesn't work
HP,
like that.
but it's not like healing. It's still like the
Yeah, so
same
that's like
percent.
Zygarde. Yeah,
Yeah.
does not work that way. Okay. Oh, Terramence
Whoa.
does it again.
Wait, hold on. Did you hear that, Lee?
Yeah, your mic peaked right there.
That
But
was
no,
just.
it's all good.
It sounded like a
Mine?
dog barking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can't change it.
I don't know.
It happened.
Chat. I hope
I
that
don't
woke
know.
you up. All right.
Well, I didn't do anything. Not sure. Well, here we go. Terra Mets.
Moonblast
Good
nearly
mod.
always kills Mentor Trigger. Even Scarf Moonblast though, because it was the
Yeah.
Scarf. So.
Well, no, but it doesn't matter. If it's Scarf, then you lose.
yeah, you lose either way. It still just makes it a better chance.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Maybe if it's like physical and it only has close combat to hit you if you Terra, for example, maybe that's the only way you lose, but not Terraing seems the best because it dodges Vacuum Wave
Wait a
crit.
minute. What,
But
is that
Vacuum Wave crit, even if
54?
it's Specs, doesn't KO. We just calced.
It doesn't kill most of the time. Hold on, 54.
Moonblast does kill most of the time.
Oh wait, this says 160 by default. Hold on, let me see what the Mets actually had. It's only 4 HP. Yeah, okay, that probably does more. Let's see. 53 to 63. Yeah, it's like killing most of the time. Yeah. Either way, still a better out.
And then, sorry, I wanted to see the pawn set too, because it was slower than Mens here.
Wrong team.
Yeah, it was just full Fizz Def. Interesting. I'm curious what that's for. Maybe for Meow? No, I don't know.
Yeah, because
I got no idea, because you're never
hit a Protean
beating Mens with
U-turn.
this. Yeah, you're never beating Mens
Sneasel
with
probably
this.
punches
What
through
else
it
was on the
too.
team? I mean, Manectric
Yeah,
came, which
it's-
means that there's got to be something else that's like higher.
There's a
tier that they can-
Sneasler, there's a Starmie, there's a Kafagrigus, and a Fortress.
So literally none of those things. That like
I guess
Overpunch-
Starmie is Psyshock.
You don't run max Fizz Def for a neutral Psyshock, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I
It
don't
does
know
look
what
like
that
there's
would
just
be.
a lot of 252s on this team though, so maybe this was like a low prep week.
Yeah. Oh, there's 100 right here.
The
This is a
Dirge
ve- This is
has-
a very
yeah, I don't know.
specific. very specific.
Well, not too sure.
Actually, a couple of these are. I mean, that's just speed creep, though. To be fair.
Like
Well,
even
Stormlight
if you're
Swear
trying to
is
beat
pretty
Mens
cool.
with it, you don't have play rough. You're running spikes over another attack, so all good. Yeah,
Yeah, literally
252
the
gaming
only
for
attack
real.
you can hit it with, it quad resists if it doesn't tear.
Yeah, I guess maybe once like post Terra, if it doesn't have a
Yeah.
boost, it's not bad.
I wonder if that was the plan. Was like, oh, if it has terrored by now, even if boosted, you guaranteed survive something and kill it back. That would be my only guess.
Goater for one has run FizzDef water. If FizzDef AV water type for Starmie, what the heck? Yeah, you're built different though, dude.
So is that
Okay. Well, we have one more replay. We're going at a pretty good pace here, I think.
It felt like
there-
we were
once
going
again-
slow, but we actually are moving pretty quick.
Yeah. Once again, there were no truant replays submitted, so we kind of just picked one.
Boo.
We did go over one of Handy's battles last week. Yeah, but we're getting to the point in the season where actually nobody in Truant, nobody's battles last week were of anybody who was unreviewed so far. So we had
Oh,
to
really?
just pick somebody who has been reviewed. But it's okay.
Oh,
This was a pretty
the
good one.
other half of every matchup at least had been reviewed.
Yeah, every matchup from last week had at least one person who has been reviewed so far,
That makes sense.
which is kind of crazy.
Small div.
Yeah.
Oh, let me mute this
So
out.
yeah, we do have Roy Ace versus Handy. Let me double check what their records are going in. Roy is 1-2 and Handy is 2-1.
Could even the playing field with this one.
Mm-hmm.
So Handy's captains, I
I'll
guess,
tell you the
are
Terras.
Dirge, and not Urshi. Dirge and
It
Mew.
was
Wait, no,
Dirge.
Mew
It
came
has now since been changed
Mew came.
to a Pokemon that wasn't brought, that we have been talking about extensively, that we can get to in the trade section. So at the point of this game, it was Skeledirge and Galvantula.
Galvin.
And then Roy's I gotta find them here. Are
Whereas
Cress
this
and
Cress and
yeah, Cress and Glastrier, which didn't come.
Okay.
So it's Terra Grass, Cress, Cress, and then
Grass,
Flying
Grass.
Dirge. So we do see a Togetic on our screens.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's there.
I forgot this thing was even drafted. I'm not gonna lie. I drafted this thing
Togetic
in
get
like a
extreme
Gen
speed?
6 draft. I don't think so.
Wait, what was the question?
Does Togetic get extreme speed?
It has like 20 attack. It's literally not worth to run.
Dude, it has hustle though.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, looking at it now, let me check Togetic's stats. It has it has 40 attack.
Don't forget it was
Does
a
not
normal
get
type.
extreme speed.
It was a normal type added in Gen 2. It needs that physical attack stat.
Yeah, it used to be stab, but I guess it's not anymore, eh?
It's not, no.
So I've drafted this thing before in like Gen 6. And I traded my Golem for it.
Wow.
How'd that feel?
I brought Togetic, and it probably was worse than being a Golem. So, but it's fine. It actually has like very usable defenses. It's just its HP stat sucks. It's 55 HP. Then its defenses are 85.
More than a
105.
Rotom.
Yeah,
85 and what?
85 and 105 defense and speed.
And then Eviolite too.
Yeah. So with Eviolite, it's actually very bulky. It's just it falls into the category of sorry, bonds that want Eviolite but are weak to rocks.
Yeah, and also it doesn't really apply in this case because you have another fairy and a dark fighting type, unless this is rapid. No.
It is not.
Then that sometimes you'll have like a Eviolite user that's also your knock resist. But
Yeah.
in this case,
Well,
you have
importantly,
Dansey.
Roy doesn't have any rockers on his team. So Togetic stonks are up.
Wow, yeah. Does Crest?
Oh, they said in chat right there, Terra Crest and Terra Dirge.
Terra Grass Crest versus a Skeledirge.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
True.
Right. Okay, well, anyways, I think
Technically-
Togetic is fine. Just don't use it as a wish passer.
Technically.
It wishes like worse than Togedemaru.
Togetic leads.
Maybe. It has like T-Wave, Air
Wait,
Slash.
you know
it
why
can be legit.
Does it have Aura Sphere? It could just
No.
be a Weavile. Check then again, he's weak to ice.
Wait, it doesn't even have Air Slash? Dude, this mon sucks.
What does it get? Does it
Training
have
kits?
Gleam instead of Moonblast, or does it like? Because I don't even think Togetic.
So it
gets
has Air
Moonblast.
Cutter, Sky
Well, good,
Attack,
that'll hit 2 targets, so that's pretty good.
Dual Wing Beat.
So here's the question: what stops Melmetal from coming in 100% of the time that Togetic is in, and just clicking on their bash?
It might have Baton Pass. It does have Baton Pass, and it
Wow.
has Thunder Wave. But that is exactly it.
I guess we have to wait and see like what this plan is with it, right? Like it
Yeah.
has to, it like it surely it's here for something. But
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, it does have Serene Grace. Oh, but it doesn't have Air Slash, so like you can't even just flinch something.
Nope.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, I would expect like a Treads lead into Melm. I think is pretty good.
You think Melm lead against?
Yeah.
I guess yeah. I guess like maybe a Deancey, you destroy a Mew.
It might be tough into the Urshi lead, but I think it actually lives close combat and can
Probably.
kill back.
Yeah. Ensign lead versus Treads, which I guess makes sense if you're playing on the Treads. Volt switch.
That might have revealed Assault Vest on Incineroar.
Or just not invested in Spatak
Yeah.
on Treads.
Doing 9% is pretty pitiful, but I guess it does have a pitiful Spatak stat.
Non-stab, low Spatak stat, base 70, which I just remembered from earlier. Deancey's out on the Blitz. Pretty good answer there. You
And it
just clicking
eats.
Diamond Storm, or are you?
A hazard here? Polish, nice.
Wait. Is this not Mega?
I think it is Mega, but staying non-Mega is better here if you're rock polishing.
Wait, why?
It is Mega Diancie. What do you mean?
Your defenses are way higher when you rock polish. When you're base Diancie.
Oh, you're saying like they tank the hit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like, cause isn't it faster when it's Mega?
Yeah.
That's
Why do you need to be fast when you're clicking rock polish?
Yeah, I see what you. I
How
think,
you
like,
want to be
I
fast.
think that for a rock polish set, you wouldn't just stay base. Like, that
No,
makes
no, no, no.
sense. Like,
Yeah, you stay base just for the
For
setup
the
turn, so
turn,
you have better
yeah.
defense.
Mystical Fire on
Oh.
the Terra Grass.
Wow, crazy. This is good. This means that like even a Terra Blast, or I think this has Energy Ball, is gonna deal less to you.
Yeah, and it Calm Mind, so it's back to neutral. But like, yeah, you kind of control it.
Yeah,
there.
you lose that raise.
Mystical Fire on the Ensign doesn't matter.
The Intimidate
Huge
might
enchantment
matter.
drop.
It might matter for Diamond Storm.
Yeah, it could have been Clear Body if it didn't. If it didn't.
True, dude.
That's
See,
what
this
it
is
was.
why you stay non-Mega.
It's not time.
Oh, it's just Power Gem though.
Yeah.
Probably means
I guess
it's
that's
not a
probably
Assault Vest.
intended against an Incineroar, honestly.
Yeah.
Like the thing that you need to hit with the rock move.
Yep, very clever. Melm should live though. I feel like
The
this maybe
crest
should have
comes
been
back
Melm.
out. Maybe Trick Rooming. It could just be Trick Rooming. Yeah.
You could have done this when you had +1 Spadef. And when you had an Incineroar.
Yeah. Oh, you just stay.
And it has the Energy Ball too.
Well, you get 3 turns of Melm clicking some buttons, but
Yeah,
then
Melm comes in. You probably eat Q with Melm here.
Fizdef Dirge probably just tanks even an EQ,
Oh.
right? Thunder Punch.
Thunder Punch. Wait, that does so much.
Oh, maybe you're predicting the EQ or predicting the Togetic on the EQ.
Yeah, but you double Iron Bash then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's just a game of like waiting. Like the Trick Room Center is dead, so maybe Roy here is thinking like, oh, he's gonna want to stall out this Trick Room by just swapping, right? Like swap to the Ground Immune, swap to the Steel Resist, swap back to the right, and then that wastes your whole Trick Room. So maybe that's.
Oh,
what
Yeah,
so
but
like
if you went
just
Treads,
like
you just
a-
didn't even get chipped for it though.
Yeah. And Treads is a pretty likely switch on the Iron Bash too.
Yeah.
So I do think sacking the Dirge was a little unnecessary there.
Oh, I agree with that. I'm saying that the reason that I think he went for the Thunder Punch.
the Thunder
was
Punch also didn't make
specifically-
too much sense to me.
I just think it was because if you're expecting your opponent to stall out the Trick Room with the immunities, so you might be expecting the Quake. Like you said, like you just click Quake here.
Well,
and
there's no Steel immunity.
No, but Dirge would survive the double Iron Bash pretty easily. Because it resists
Right,
that.
so you're saying Dirge on the double Iron Bash and then Togetic on the EQ?
I'm saying what Roy might have been thinking there is because he only has 3 turns of Trick Room, he could
No, I
screw
understand what you're
himself
saying.
by just by Handy just reading the options, right? Like
Yeah, but
maybe
I don't
not that
understand why
exact
that makes
order.
Thunder Punch the right play.
If he was calling out the Togetic specifically, but yeah, you just double Iron Bash.
And you have the Iron Bash, exactly. And
Yeah.
you still deal probably the same amount of damage with double Iron Bash to Dirge
the
as Thunder
stab.
Punch, right? It's just a T-Punch, first of all, actually runs you the risk of paralyzing something to make it slower than you.
Yeah.
And also you just do 0 damage to
I wonder if it didn't kill Diancie,
Treads. What?
the T-Punch.
At 30? Surely it does.
Iron Fist, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
And actually, if anything, the Thunder Punch just gets immune by the Treads.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Fancy comes
Well-
in as the Trick Room goes down.
I would
Mystical
imagine an
Fire.
Earth Power.
Oh,
the
crit.
crit! I think that crit matters. There's
That
no way it
had
doesn't.
to
Let me
matter.
calc that.
That's crazy.
That had to matter.
If it's just standard, like, 252 HP Melmetal, the Mystical Fire...
From 94.
does, wow, 57 to 68. So if it's at 94,
That
a
is like
crit,
a
you
high
might win a
roll
roll.
crit.
it's a 50% chance to KO
With
at
a crit?
94% with a crit.
Jesus.
Crazy.
That
Unless
is
it's modest,
brutal.
it might
could
be modest.
It could be modest because it has the,
Yeah.
the rock polish.
Yeah, and it's like full special because it had the power gem as well.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's at 94, it's a guaranteed KO with a crit.
We've all just
Metal
comes
Claw
up
KOs,
Metal
okay.
Claw.
That could have been anything. I think it just risked not missing. Wait, Metal Claw can miss
Metal
too.
Claw is
actually.
like 95% accurate.
Yeah, but you do get the attack raise potential.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I think
things like
Metal
10%.
Claw,
but I
Metal
mean,
Claw's a
whatever.
garbage move. I think you're
It
better
sucks,
off,
dude.
I think you're better off just clicking like Ice Punch. Like bring Ice Punch instead,
Yeah.
but it does the same amount. I know you want the 4
No.
times super effective, but like
No, being 4 times, it's what, like 50, 55 power or something. It does actually do, 220 base. It's actually a lot better than Ice Punch.
yeah, but I'm saying that like in that case, like you're either low enough that you could just kill it with the Ice Punch, or I think you would, if it's at max HP, you're probably fine just risking your triple axle or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah. I think you just triple axle here anyways. You say, I don't care what Togekiss is going to do. Yeah. Bonk. Bonk. Does this KO?
doesn't
Oh.
KO.
One crit there
All
would
right.
have done it.
This is your Weavile answer. What's it do?
Oh, fuck.
Thunderwave!
Oh boy,
Woohoo!
in the trick room. Ice Shard. Oh.
And the Ice Shard.
Hey, listen. If Handy wins this, Togekiss might have been instrumental, depending on what happens this week.
Okay, Tick might have been instrumental.
Because
too.
now you have your Urshi who outspeeds him now.
And
This doesn't even KO. Oh, okay, this
Wait,
might. Yeah, this does.
will. Yeah. Crit again, but
Crit.
it probably kills it.
Crit mattered. No way, crit mattered.
The bolt.
Bolt, I would think
Proto
maybe Ice Beam or Earth Power here. Oh, CM might be a little greedy. Hold on.
No, but you might be expecting the Thunderclap. I think CM's fine.
I don't think it ever thunderclaps when Mew's at this high HP.
It could.
yeah, you gotta chip it.
Snarl.
Snarl. What the?
That's a VUC.
And then it leaves.
It comes in, snarls and dips. That's so funny. Cudgel does 40. That's kind of crazy, actually.
Roost. Not enough to outpace the Roost.
So it's what?
Oh,
Aura Sphere,
SD.
Meteor Beam, Roost, Calm Mind? Huh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, wait, this is dangerous.
Oh, so it doesn't even have stab.
If
or
it's
like-
Scarf Urshi, I think Urshi can win here.
Yeah.
You just can't let this Trailblaze. Which it doesn't.
Oh.
Cudgel's such a busted move, dude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
That's because it was +2. I was like, wait, how did that do so much more? Does Cudgel just win here? Could be bulky Urshi.
Oh, it's not Scarf. Wait, so Cudgel just wins, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could be
Yeah.
could be a berry. Could be a berry.
I think it might be AV if it's like bolt switching around.
Bolt
and stuff.
switch, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's dead. So GG to Roy. Well played.
Wow.
So Roy's definitely bringing it back. I think actually he was off to a rough start. Let me double check here.
Melm was punching glove, but that still boosts the double iron bash.
Okay, Roy's
Oh.
actually just been alternating win-loss, win-loss. So
Um,
he's definitely still in a playoff race here. He's currently, now that he's 2-2, he's in a, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-way tie for 4th place.
wow.
But his diff
Hold on.
is
Do you want me to bring
zero.
up the stats here in a sec? I'm just
Sure,
looking at the
yeah.
teams.
Yeah, sure.
I want to see.
We can
if
just
the,
take a look at Truant actually first.
Yeah, I want to see if the DNC was modest.
Wow, that was
it
banned
was
in
modest.
treads.
The DNC
Okay,
was.
so that
modest.
was a guaranteed KO. If it was,
With the
hold on,
crit.
check out the Melmetal stats. 'Cause if it was Spadef over HP, then it mattered.
It was just HP with force speed.
Okay, so that was a guaranteed KO. It did 90, like,
Guaranteed with
4.5
crit.
or something. Yeah.
Let me see anything else.
Okay, check the
that was-
Togetic too.
Split defenses. Calm. Seismic toss. You know, you don't get super effective.
You wave toxic
seismic
double
toss
status.
against the Weavile. Yeah, T-Wave Toxic, Roost.
Brick says he kind of copy pastes the same sets from week to week. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fine though. I know that that a lot of people, especially in Truant, are not looking to take this extremely seriously and are having a good time. I'm totally for it. If you want to copy paste sets, I don't care. Power to you. If you want to see how well you can do with certain things, all good.
Stealth Rock and Volt Switch on your choice band set is a choice
wait a
too.
minute.
Yeah, hold on. That's a little crazy. Roy does, yeah.
And you're not even running max speed on your bandit set.
Well,
I guess
I
that could just be creep.
don't really see what you need the speed for.
Yeah. It just looks like a small amount, but I guess it could just be a void between those speed tiers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at 125, 110, and then what? Cresselia?
Yeah.
Like 85 that never invests in very much speed. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. All right, let me bring up the doc here. I'll start with Truant.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got Truant up. We got a 4-0. We have two 0-4s. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people at 2 and 2. And 3 of those people at 2 and 2 are 0 diff. Perfectly
Insane.
even.
That's
literal
crazy.
three-way tie down to strength of schedule.
Yeah.
That,
And actually, none of
for
them are
7th place.
in a playoff spot. At a perfectly even record, it is not a playoff spot. You have to have at least +1 diff right now.
Yeah, crazy. Let me look at the coach standings here. And it looks like... Yeah, Dave actually has a pretty good strength of schedule for being 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Well,
he just beat Sweets. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that his diff is so low compared to the other 2-2s, because otherwise, if all of the 2-2s had 0 diff or the same diff, I think Dave would be in the second spot. It would be Bobo, Dave, Roy, Handy, Zathandis, Sweets, Damu.
Yeah.
Would be the order for 2-2s based on strength of schedule. Obviously, the diff is there.
What do you guys think?
Tony's been killing it, and we've been talking about Tony since week 1.
Yeah, well,
he's
that
been a
Terra
really
Hands
exciting
is
player to
so
watch.
Good.
We've been talking about Tony since roster review season 4.
Yeah, yeah. Tony's been a blast to watch. He's definitely been in the back of our minds for promotion for the last little while. This has felt like a really good season for Tony to really show up and prove his worth, to make a shot for Swarm next season, if that's something that he's interested in. And I think he's really delivered. He's been playing extremely solidly, building really well. I don't remember who he's building with, who his mentorship
Lethal
partner
Blue.
is. Oh, right, it's Lethal. They've been, partnered really well. Although I am a little bit surprised at Lethal's performance this season, which we'll get there in Swarm in a couple minutes. Because I did want to talk about some of the trades that happened before we move on. Let me pull that up real quick.
Yeah, I don't think we have a tab.
If you
for
have
it.
anything else to add then before it.
I was just curious. I saw Kravitz' most recent game. Has Maul been doing any better? Like seeming to pick anything up?
All got KOs against
Maul
Tony last
Did
week.
register, yeah, his first couple KOs against Tony.
the
I think his
4-0 person,
Excadrill.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, Excadrill got a couple KOs.
Let's go.
Which
Zero
really funny.
diff. Woo.
Really funny thing happened where I don't think it was supposed to be this real quick. So actually, if you want to just go into the week 4 game versus Tony, yeah. Just watch the first 5
this
turns.
is completely in the wrong.
It's
frame,
okay, it's
but I don't
okay.
really care.
Just the first
Oh,
couple
wait.
turns until Excadrill clicks a move that's a little weird. It's
Oh, wait,
around EQ.
I might have seen this actually. Was this the one that had
The
Scorpion?
stacking
With him-
hazards against the reads
An
the
insane
mega.
read on the rock slide. And then
Defense.
Iron defense, which I'm
we've seen that
90% sure.
We've seen that
I'm
before.
90% sure that was supposed to be Iron Head.
The Zeb
We've
class.
seen that
That's,
before.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zeb got an award for that.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is it happened again in a different division in the same week.
Well, but hold on. Why is he clicking? Why would he click Iron Head against the electric type?
Well, if
Yeah.
it Terra flyings, you would
Then
ideally
click
you would
rock
just
slide.
rock slide. Well, I think it's the kind of thing where you click Iron Defense because you have it, even though it was supposed to be Iron Head. I don't think he was meaning
Oh
to click Iron
yeah,
Head.
okay,
It
that
was
makes
like,
sense. Yeah,
well, I have Iron Defense, I might
you
as well
might
click it.
see it. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it works out, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're not weak to fighting anymore.
Let me double check. Who
Dude,
else
the
has
Excadrill, he's
drill?
putting some work in, and then he just lets it die.
and
That, I
then
think
bundle,
that's.
and then along came the bundle.
I think that's like I think I saw one of his other games, or maybe honestly this might be what I was thinking of when I was seeing Kravitz game too, where it's like there's like moments of like good play, right? Like you make a good read or a good turn, but then it's like, okay, just let it die. You know, just let it just stand in front of this thing that there's absolutely no universe that it beats.
Yeah.
Just let
no
it die.
shot.
Like it's like just
Yep.
just sack something else. Like I think that's the
We
thing
don't
that-
need to watch the rest of the
Yeah.
game. It's Iron Bundle clicking freeze dry a bunch
Right.
of times.
Yeah.
And it
But
just wins.
that's just there where it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a point where you like swap to get some momentum, where instead of just like giving away the drill. But then again, if bundle just kills everything with freeze dry, then I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So this did happen again. I thought it was with Excadrill, but it wasn't actually with drill. It was just on the team that has Excadrill, where Eager 99 in the Hustle division brought Iron Defense Mega Mawile. First slot.
Jump to it.
I'm once again 100% sure this was not meant to be. It was like right at the beginning.
Oh, I was just gonna check the set.
Okay.
Oh, and the Mawile, yeah.
And then it's the same kind of deal where I don't think clicking Iron Head here is right, but it's like,
Right,
well,
yeah.
I have Iron Defense, might as well click it. It was definitely supposed to be Iron Head.
Yeah. Tragic.
And if I'm wrong, let me know. You know, call me out.
Could just
If
be
you
a
had a
heat
real
set.
strat for Iron Defense, let me know, and I will formally apologize for for my condescension. Scroll up a little. Replays.
replays. What does that mean? Oh, you mean it's because it's a different
Define it.
browser that's like set at a different frame. I would have to put it in a different window. Like it's actually like a completely
Yeah, you have to like
different
frame
window
it
that I have this
differently.
in.
Yeah,
Like this has to
Yeah,
be
we
set at
can't-
this size.
scroll up. Yeah.
Um.
Since I brought Dragon Dance Reshiram instead of Dragon Pulse, yeah, but that's a good move. And getting a speed boost is still fine on
Yeah,
special
even
Reshiram.
if you're just the attack, you just ignore it.
I mean, you do
Um,
have Flame Charge, which is technically slightly better, but you can run mind games and bring in their physical defense mon and then
Yeah,
hit
if
them
you
with a
just
blue
do,
flare
if
in
you
there.
click DD on the first turn and they haven't used anything yet, otherwise, then
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, well, so this is the truant standings. There were a couple trades. Let's dig into those.
yeah, where do I see those, or did you just post them in our chat?
I didn't post them anywhere. They're just in the truant trades. We didn't go over them in week 3, so we actually can cover a couple. There weren't too many. In week 3, Bobozab actually dropped Ursaluna for Terapagos. You want to check out Bobo's squad?
Let me bring that up. Is this him right there? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Ursaluna. It's now Terapagos. I quite like the trade. It gives a rocker, it gives a remover. Having to rely on Torn Latios and Weezing and Moltres, like you have a lot of options, but it's a bunch of things that it's already hard enough to bring 6 mons on this team, I
Yeah.
think, since even Moltres and Weezing are like kind of low tiers in the context of this team.
It's like a fake having a lot of options because none
Yeah,
of them
yeah,
want to run it.
Yeah. But I think it was fine. It's kind of the same deal though, where with Terapagos kind of doesn't really want to run spin, but at least it adds another dimension to it. And yeah, it gives you a rocker that's not stack attack it too.
Right.
And then also we talked about this a little bit in the replay.
Well, hold on.
Handy changed Terra
Wait, wait, wait,
Skeledirge.
wait, wait, wait. One thing that I don't like about that though is that you no longer have an electric immunity. Like you don't have an electric resist outside of Meow, and you have Moltres.
True, the ground type is
Quarantine,
gone. Yeah, I didn't
Amomoa.
think about that. Yeah, no more ground type. So I guess Stacka and Moltres have to ground. That's okay. Andy changed Terra Skeledirge to the Terraments and joined the Terraments squad.
Oh man.
Let's go. So Skeledirge now no longer can Terra. Something that maybe is a bit of an oversight for our system is now Skeledirge with +5 diff.
Is going to be eligible for.
It just has the
non-Terra
stats and is eligible, yeah, for like end of season reward or awards, as though it wasn't a Terra Captain. So maybe that's something we'll have to track later on.
I think we just have to keep track of who had Terra Captain changes, and then I think anything that was a Terra Captain is either being voted on for a Terra Captain or they're not being voted on for the category. Because it's possible that it's like, you know, it could have been a Terra Captain for half the season. It was still a great Terra Captain. It would still get votes, but it just like wasn't needed for the second half, right? Or like somebody else looked better for the second half. In the same sense that switching to a Terra Captain for only 4 games for the second half of the season could still also win, right? Like it's still the same sample size.
Drix says he's lucky to be not facing Sky Knight. I'm pretty sure Sky Knight has the Regieleki, right? Who played like 3 people in a row who didn't have ground types.
Yeah, just running over them with Regieleki.
Sounds about right. At +4.
Yeah, Lucky's been great.
What else?
Pincer's been insane too.
To check.
That's it. Those were the only trades. It was the Dirge to Mets. I do think that's a great change. Yep. The only change week 3 was the Terrapagos. Oh, sorry. Sky Knight also changed Petron to Heatran. From Terra Petron to Terra Heatran.
That's fine. I like that. I think they're both good Terra Captains. But
he's been running the offensive Heatran sets a bunch, and I think Terra helps that out a lot too.
It's just a little more flexible.
I agree.
Because you have your type immunity with Terra, or you can just do Terra Fire Eruption, right? Whereas Petron can be really obnoxious defensively with Terra, but like it's not going to do more than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we done with Truant then?
Yes. On to Swarm Division. We have 1, 2, 3 changes. We can just talk
undefeated?
from.
Is that new?
Yeah. No undefeated.
Was there anyone undefeated last week?
There was. I don't remember who it was.
Stella.
That's what I thought too. But didn't Stella?
I think you're right. Oh, and Martin. Martin was 3-0.
Okay.
Yeah, so they both lost this week. And we actually just reviewed Stella's game this week too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was their first loss. So we do see tied for first. We actually see Drix, who is here with us, and Corey, who might still be around. At 3-1 +7. +7's pretty good. I mean, considering there's 5 people with the same win-loss at 3-1, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But the diff ranges anywhere from +1 to +7. The +1 on Kai Guy it looks pretty bad.
It was the sweep.
Unfortunately, yeah, Kai Guy got swept week 1 by an Ogerpon. He got 6-0'd.
Just climbing out of a hole for the entire season, but doing a good job, right? Like I mean, that's like that definitely takes some like mental resilience. Coming off of a week 1 loss like that to like find the motivation to like actually keep.
To totally bring it back, right? Yeah.
And like this is like 3-1, and now has a positive diff.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Drix should be +8. But at the end of his game this week, he clicked a not 100% accurate move on a turn that he didn't have to, and just lost him on because of it.
I want to see that.
Oops.
Yeah. Just go to the second last turn.
He clicked mystical.
He clicked mystical power.
The ass off was like, click a mystical power. Oh shit.
Oops.
Oh, bye-bye.
Yeah, so probably should be +8, but did end up winning this 4-0.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. Technically, I mean, we're not going to talk about technicalities, actually, because you threw. And who's to say that Corey didn't throw a diff somewhere in those games, too? So
100% like, you never would change a diff because somebody made a misplay, right?
No. Yeah, well, there's no shoulda, woulda, couldas. It's very cut and dry. So, but you can still speculate and say maybe Drix should still be at the top of the division by 1 diff. But regardless, it's a really close race, and I'm surprised that there's so many people with so many wins.
Yeah. Well, that means that there's also a lot of losses, right? Like,
so looking down at the bottom,
is it maybe?
Yeah, there is. The one person that I was a little, I don't want to say let down by, but surprised that they weren't doing so well is Lethal Blue. Him and Falcons have had their week 4 game postponed until
It's today.
Like tonight at 8:30.
8:30.
Actually, it's supposed to be happening in like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So he could be 1-3, and Val could be 2-2. Who knows?
It's
But
just
I've been surprised by Lethal's performance, because I've really expected him to be like doing really well, and it feels like him and Tony, who are paired for the mentorship, have been doing really well for Tony, but then Lethal just hasn't had the same success
yeah.
in his own division, which kind of feels bad.
I'm wondering too if like, is it maybe showing that Swarm might not be as balanced as it was before? Because I feel like Storm was always like the balanced one before, because you had like a pretty good mix, and it didn't really feel like there were people like at the bottom who like shouldn't be there. Maybe like one or two people that needed to go down. But like even the demotions that did happen over the couple of years were like people that could have still been in Swarm, right? That just kind of like got
sure.
that there wasn't room. And then like the upper end was like people who could be hustle, but also like weren't crazy. I guess there were always a couple people who were like winning a lot. I'm just wondering if it's like now that there's hustle to kind of like move some people up into, you have a lot of people that like should maybe be playing against the people that are kind of in the bottom half of hustle that are now actually playing against the top half of truant, and ending up with some stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's definitely some people when we get there, which I think we will pretty shortly once we go over some trades. There's a pretty clear-cut bottom and a pretty clear-cut top half, or not half, but like portion of the hustle standings.
I think we determined
your
that
point,
Iron Hands would be the bottom, right?
Yes, we did decide that.
Go on.
No, so that's to your point. Is I agree, and this was kind of the season where we took, because obviously this is the first season where we introduced the All-Star division,
Yeah.
and we added a lot of new players this season in general, right? I think we have about 20 new people this season.
Yeah, it was
Who
like
we
18,
had
20.
to, yeah, something crazy. Who we had to just kind of throw in one of the divisions, and we didn't want any of the new players in to be instantly put into All Stars.
Right.
So there's some people in Hustle who should maybe be in All Stars in the future, but similarly, there are people who we may have misplaced into Hustle because their application was extremely confident and they had people who like vouched for them. Though you could be just having a bad season.
Yeah.
You could be just busy and maybe not putting as much like time or effort into it, and all of these are factors that like are completely fair. But next season there will definitely be some swapping around, and who's to say that the standings are even going to stay the same? I mean, the people who are doing poorly in Hustle could still turn it up and make playoffs. Even if you're 0-4, which, spoilers, there are a couple people who are 0-4, you're still not out. You can still make playoffs off of diff when you're 4-4 if you win out from here. So
I just think that, like,
you know, it's not set in stone.
You do see a pretty clear difference though, where it's, I mean, we talked about Kai Guy, where it's like he's somebody who is like on paper player that moved up from Truant, starts 0-1 -6. Looks like something where it's like, oh, was this person, like, if you're not looking at the game, right? Like if you don't look at like, oh, it's just an overrun sweep, it might look like, oh, maybe that was somebody who shouldn't have moved up. Okay,
yeah,
that's the kind of player that you talk about. Maybe in 3 weeks they're looking better. Okay, 3 weeks later, 3-1 +1, right? Like that's the example of like, just because you have a bad start or like an unlucky week or whatever, like a good player will overcome that. We'll get to that point. We are getting to the point now where it's like outside of very kind of specific, like, oh, they've been very busy IRL. Like that's always like a real reason, right? That they like consistently can't prep. But you do sort of have to start to like question where it's like, okay, this is somebody who might have just got promoted to this division, and are you really going to fall back on the excuse of like, oh, I didn't really have time? It's like, okay, well then maybe you shouldn't have moved up to begin with, right? And, and not saying like, oh, you're bad and you should be in a worse division, but like, okay, maybe that is the reason that you were in Truant or in Swarm instead of Hustle, is because you don't have the time to commit to it. That's fine. But you should play a division that accommodates that better.
Yeah, and I don't think we even need to look at it like this aggressively.
No,
of
no.
Oh well, then you shouldn't have been in this division in the first
Yeah,
place. I don't think
that's why. That's
there's
why.
nothing like that. I think
Yeah.
just to clarify, I don't think that's the direction you were going in.
No,
Um,
when I say
I think-
should or
I
shouldn't,
think
I mean
we're-
like better for yourself than
Yeah.
not like you deserve to be there or not.
I think for Kai Guy in particular, because he won True in Division last season.
Yeah.
So there's pretty much, if you win a division, there's pretty much no
Oh yeah.
like possibility for you to stay. Like you're very likely to move up, right?
What happens to
No, week
whoever
one
wins
I
All-Star?
think was then you ascend to godhood.
You
You know that
become
meme
to
of like the
modhood?
4 different there's like the different panels of wokeness, and you become like this galaxy brain
ascendants,
like
yeah.
giga. Yeah, you ascend that meme.
Wow. That's
But I think for
crazy.
Kai Guy in particular, week one was as much a bad matchup for the pawn that kind of just 6-0'd him from out of the gates as it was a wake up call.
Right.
And of like the people here actually like can identify sets that roll
Yep.
over me. That maybe they didn't have the same potential to do that when he was playing in Truant. No, I think he took that wake up call and has just started to really run away.
Yeah,
Now it's
and
unfortunate
that's what
that
you
the
want to
6-0
see.
week one. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the 6-0 week one is really biting him in the ass because his diff compared to the other people that he's tied with on win-loss is very, very low.
Yeah.
I think his games have been
But
pretty tight
realistically,
outside
yeah, the games
of
are probably
that, right?
better. Yeah.
But if anything, I think that just goes to show that he does belong in this division.
Right. And that's why I was using
having
him as
close
an example
games-
like that, right?
Yeah, 100%. So we can get into the trades that happen.
Yeah, I have them up
I'm
here.
eating
So
ice
I
cream
have
at the same time.
I have week 3, which I guess we didn't talk about. Drix.
Yeah,
dropped
Drix made a
false
trade week 3.
profits. Finny.
Okay.
Leezy.
Lee, you got
Bombardier.
dropped.
Yeah, dude.
Bombardier, Urshi, and Togekiss. So
Nope.
that's all 5. That's like a
Nope,
that's,
nope,
that's
you're
a
reading
full-
this wrong. You're reading this very
Oh,
wrong.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Finny,
So,
Lee, and Bombardier
Finny-
for Urshi and Togekiss.
Yeah, Lee is Hitmonlee. So Tapu Fini, Hitmonlee, and Bombardier. Bombardier is kind of not a real mon, honestly. But Hitmonlee, I was surprised that Drix dropped Hitmonlee actually, because I really felt like the Fini Hitmonlee was a pretty good splash win-con core for Drix here.
Yeah, you also don't have a spinner now.
Yeah, I wouldn't really count. But there's Excadrill right there. I wouldn't really count Hitmonlee as a spinner. Honestly, you're only really running it if you're running Fini with Misty Seed to try and sweep with Sword Dance or something. Bombardier was kind of a non-factor and was mostly just drafted to have a flying type to help support the Sand Core and like Heatran and stuff. But looking at the pickups, Hitmonlee was traded for Urshi Rapid, which
huge upgrade.
I mean, after dropping Fini and Hitmonlee, makes a lot of sense.
Mash them together.
Then you keep a water type. Yeah, you kind of just mash them together, and then you also just like kind of split the Fini in half, where you mix it with the Hitmonlee with the water type, and you mix the fairy type on the Togekiss, which you picked up as well, right?
Now I think you could swap the Togekiss out for a Togetic.
I recommend against that, but by all means.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a really good consolidation of like, maybe not a consolidation. Like it's just wisely using your trades so that you're not completely losing like the ground type, for example, right? Like in the other team where it's like, oh, you got a consistent rocker. You kept a normal type, you kept some hazard control, but you lost your ground type. In this case, like, yeah, you lose like the specific niche of like Unburden on the Hitmonlee and the terrain in general from the Fini, but you've swapped them out for still very solid options. They're just solid options in different ways, which might have been what the team needs, right? Is to shake it up a little bit with that.
Yeah, overall, I do think it's a very big improvement. Not only just because you are using the Bombardier points a little bit more wisely, because realistically, on an 11 Pokemon roster with a Bombardier, you never have room for that thing, right? And if you do need a ground immunity before you made this trade for Togekiss, you're just bringing Weezing, right? Or like Terraflying Excadrill, right? Like you're never bringing Bombardier for any reason other than that. Yeah, okay, and Azel too. So even at that point, what do you really need the
Yeah,
Bombardier
that's
for?
like that's more of a point against the Bombardier to say like,
Yeah,
oh, there's
yeah,
also
honestly.
an Azelf that can just come.
Yeah, so the points are definitely being used a little bit more wisely.
Yeah, I think so.
And I also think the Misty terrain with a Heatran was a little bit of a non-boat, as well as with
Yeah,
Wheezing.
and the wheezing. Yeah.
Yeah, things that like to status things. Even Galv will like have a para chance on
Right.
Thunder a lot of the time as well. It kind of just
Yeah, I
turns
agree with
off. It's not like an anti-synergy, but it's an opportunity cost where you're missing out on something that what like is an identifying factor for each
Right,
of
but
the
then the
like
question
Pokemon
is
on your
like,
team.
anytime that you have an opportunity cost like that, it's like, what's the benefit that you're getting? You're really not getting anything besides that like very niche Hitmonlee on Burden. So yeah, like you're getting rid of an
Yeah.
opportunity cost for also not much opportunity cost on its own, like, because you're not losing much.
Now, I will say, letting Tyranitar set up without being worried about being statused, same with Excadrill, I think are like not bad ideas.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
it
that
was
takes a little
necessarily
bit
worse.
too much like foresight to really
Yeah.
gain that benefit, though. In cases where like if you're worried about them getting status, like you probably need a better plan for that anyway. Like you can't just always
Yeah,
expect the
and
terrain to
regardless, even if like you're not sold on the trade, Togekiss already put in a lot of work, and he brought it week 4 against Luke Nukem.
Oh, is that what?
And it's already 2-0,
through trade.
right? And it
Yeah.
put in a lot of work. It killed some really important things.
So let me guess. So, okay, so it
with
came
air
in.
slashes.
T-Wave gets hit by triple axle, lives at about like 8%, and then dies to Ice Shard. Right? That's what it did. Or is that the Togetic?
That was the Togetic.
Oh,
That
it was
was
the Togetic again. Damn
yeah,
it.
other way around. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're pretty much the same. So
Yeah, so that was a really good trade, I think, overall.
Yeah.
I think that was well identified that Togekiss was still around, and that it kind of does what you wanted Infinity to do in the first place, right?
You know what's funny though? I bet
What?
Togekiss max defense Togekiss probably dies to that triple axle
It might, honestly.
because it doesn't gain that much defense on evolution.
Mhm.
It just gains some HP. It gains like 40 HP.
Well, 30 HP is a lot.
Is it 40 or 30? I thought I had base 40 as Togetic. It's 50.
30. Togetic was 55 with 40
Oh,
attack.
55,
You're
okay.
thinking of.
Yeah. So, but that Eviolite, like, dude, like that would be kind of funny if it's like, yeah, it's a job that only Togetic could do, to survive the triple axle and get
Survive the
T-Wave off.
axle, yeah.
Yeah. Then again, Togekiss has Aura Sphere that just obliterates Weavile, so you don't really have to worry
true.
about the T-Wave.
Okay, we have another pretty big trade in week 4. Chemfruit dropped
Oh, that's
3 things and picked up 2.
Oh god.
So I'm interested in what you guys think about this Archaludon being picked up.
Yeah. I'm looking at the rest of the team. So, what's nice is that your other steel type isn't weak to ground or fighting.
Mhm.
Those are the only 2 things that Archaludon's weak to.
Yeah.
So,
It does mean you don't have, between your 2 steel types, you don't have a single ice resist for the Zygarde.
yeah, but Bundle, even though he's not a real resist, is a quad resist. So if you're coming on a choice set, right, like it still discourages a choice set.
Mhm.
Infernape, really good against ice types, just in general. Like he can stop the bleeding from like a setup ice type.
Yep, true.
I'm not super concerned about that, honestly.
Okay.
I think Corv still handles the bulk of them, and if you're worried about setup, Infernape can answer setups. That's like if you're worried about like a Kyurem or a Weavile or something.
Yeah, very true.
And
So
you
the
have
trade
the bundle.
was
You have the bundle, so like
yeah, you don't have to worry about that at least.
Yeah.
The trade was he dropped 3 Pokemon, Regieleki, Bruxish, and Kangaskhan to pick up Archaludon and Dunsparce.
Dunsparce.
I feel like Dunsparce is a bit of an afterthought. Although I'm looking at
extra 3 points.
I'm looking at Archaludon and Overquill, thinking, this is the start of a rain team
Yeah.
with like Bundle and Rain. You know,
Does Dunsparce get Rain Dance? Or are
I'm
you
not
saying
sure.
like it could have been someone else that gets Rain Dance?
I'm thinking maybe Chemfruit is going to make more trades in the near future,
With
or yeah, well, could drop you could even just drop Corviknight, honestly, or like Zygarde, or you could make like
No.
a bigger trade to find Politoed or something, right?
No, because you can't go under. He's already at his minimum number, right?
Yeah. So if you drop Zygarde and Dunsparce and you pick up Politoed and something else.
Oh, and something else. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like.
Well, you wouldn't just drop Zygarde for Politoed and keep 10 points on the bench.
Yeah, you would.
Oh. Actually,
my
now
bad.
you mention it. Yeah, my bad. I think you're right.
Yeah.
That's what you would do at least.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Pelipper's open, Sky. Wingull? I don't think Wingull actually gets Drizzle, does it? Maybe it does. I don't know.
I don't think.
All these open. Stormtide dropped at week 1. True. So this could be the makings of a rain team, which would be interesting.
It's a
I
little
don't think it
electric
has
week,
to go that
though,
way.
already.
It would be
Yeah.
funny if he gets a rain team after Stormtide dropped the rain team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it has to go that way in any and I'm pretty sure that surely something on this team has got to get Rain Dance, right? I mean, I'm not going to go check all of
yeah.
these 9 mons, but surely
Rain
something
Dance,
does.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Bundle
So
Break, it's
what?
it.
Sorry, what was dropped here? It was Regieleki, Kangaskhan, and Bruxish.
So you lose a spinner, but
What do you think of
still
those
have,
drops?
you still have Defog Core, but like that's your only hazard control now, right?
Yeah,
I guess bringing in a Pelly would also be
Diancie.
it would be back up as well. Yeah, and Magic Bounce.
Oh, yeah.
And Bruxish, I don't think the Bruxish was really doing anything, right? Like we probably talked about it, just being like
Yeah, I
okay,
think so.
strong water button clicker. Like you have bundle. All right, you don't really need the
Yeah.
Bruxish. Obviously, they do very different things, but like still like. That's the value of Bruxish. It's just fast.
Yeah.
Like put a scarf on it and click Wave Crash. Or
Yeah, and then also dropped Kangaskhan and ended up pretty much 1-for-1 trading it with Dunsparce. I think honestly Dunsparce is for the most part just kind of better. Like
Yeah.
it's not going to
You
wish
get your
past that
glare, you
Kangaskhan's going to do, but yeah, I
Wait,
think Glare and
Kangaskhan
Rocks
has
are better
Wish?
support.
I didn't even
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, Kanga's Wish. It's pretty good. It has like 105 HP and pretty
Yeah.
respectable defenses too. It's actually pretty bulky.
Yeah.
But it's not like the most reliable. Like if you're gonna get a low tier Wish Passer like that, I would probably rather
Wigglytuff.
Audino. Not Wigglytuff. I'd rather Audino.
Wigglytuff.
But like it's fine, Kangaskhan. If you're short on points, it's pretty decent. I do think Dunsparce, like I said, is just better. I feel like Glare and Rocks are better support for the
it's
team.
better in general.
And honestly, like Calm Mind is a kind of legit set. If people are prepping so much for Zygarde and then you show up with like CM Dunsparce, they're crying in the club, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think you're really bringing knockoff against this
I was
team
gonna
very
say
much.
like Diancie really good resist for it. Infernape is a resist. Archaludon could potentially eat like it,
Overqwil.
obviously like it might not want its like AB knocked off, but also like there's a case for getting knocked by a weak hit and just getting your
Skyhop says that
is crazy.
Skyhop says Quillfit or Overcloak does get
Overqwil,
Rain Dance.
Overqwil
So.
gets
yeah.
Rain Dance, 'cause
Yeah,
Quillfit
you can just
does.
run Damp Rock Overquill, honestly, and you're probably fine.
And you even like get some leverage out of it, like just from the turns that Overquill is already out. Even if you just like go down swinging and then bring something in.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, so I think all things said, I think it's an interesting trade, and I'm curious to see if and how it ends up changing the trajectory of the team to be a rain team. I can't help but think that the trade is like coming off the back of 3 losses in a row. Now, to be fair, the loss against Halfalk was a double forfeit where neither of them was scheduled.
yeah.
But still, coming off of 3 losses in a row, shaking things up with the team, I think is completely valid.
Maybe Arch gets it, but does Arch have room to run it?
Who knows?
And then the last one was Kai Guy.
Yes,
So-
Kaigai made a small change.
Dropped the Drift Blim and the Sliggoo, Hisui, and morphed them together into Hoopa, and then that Hoopa is now the Terra Captain.
Yeah, I do think Terra Driftblim was good.
Wait, yeah, was Drift Blim that cheap? That
yeah, it was
2
4
mons becomes
points.
only 5?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was 4 points.
I feel like that's just a. You have a Lele. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like Hoopa's not that crazy here, right?
I think it was a factor of Driftblim has never felt better than Thundy. So you
I
run
guess
Terra
that's
Thundi,
fair.
don't think twice about it, and
But when
maybe
is
Hoopa
Hoopa
sometimes look
coming
better
out?
in like Trick Room instead of Unburden.
Maybe.
I don't think it's bad. And I mean, running,
Yeah,
you already
I
had
just
2 flying types. Maybe the
That's
third didn't
true.
matter, but keeping the ghost type is nice.
2 flying types with no ground. Oh wait, no, Garchomp was ground. Never mind. I didn't see that. I was like, with no ground type again.
For a Hoopa sounds pretty spicy because it loses a bad 4x. Yeah, unfortunately, Hoopa's defense stat is just so low that honestly,
Yeah.
its type rarely matters. You kind of just get hit by a stiff breeze. Like someone throws a rock at you and you die.
Yeah, a rock's more accurate because a stiff breeze would be Spadef probably.
Oh, Skyhop says I'm ready to see expanding force Terra Hoopa. That would be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, with the
Maybe like a trick room Lele hard swapping into Hoopa and trick room. That would be kind of cool.
Storm Tide. Yeah, I dropped Rain week 1. Yeah, he's now just Tide.
Yeah, no storm, just Tide.
Tide pods.
No cast, only form.
All right.
Okay, so
that
yeah, did
was
we look at
all
the
of
standings? We did,
trades.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. Okay, very cool.
Because that's when we were talking about like the balance between them. I'm already on.
Yeah, onto
yours,
the hustle division, and Lee, this is your division. I feel like you would have some good insights into what's going on up here.
Yeah, who's this guy?
What's going on up here
Who's this guy?
is a lot. There's a lot of really good players in Hustle this season.
What about,
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised by a lot of the standings going on.
what about this one, though?
I got crit on the last turn of a game, and I
Oh, so
should be
we're
too.
We're blaming crits now. Okay, we're blaming crits. All right.
Oh, let's just retroactively
All right,
change
we're blaming
that.
crits. Let's see. Are we blaming crits now?
No, not this one. Not this one.
Oh.
We three.
I was gonna see. I see a fully set up crown on that one.
Agent Flame kicked my ass.
Wait, so
It's been
where was
really
it?
good.
Where was it?
It was the last turn of the game I got crit.
Oh, really? Right? Okay, wait. So, the Necrozma, I guess, at 100%. You can look
Well,
away. You
after
don't
a spike
have
chip, but
You
yeah.
don't have to relive this.
Well, you're.
Yeah. To be fair, it was probably what's it called, Razor Claw,
Sniper.
or yeah,
It's
it was
still
probably
Sniper.
playing
it was-
Sniper, yeah.
Sniper doesn't boost the chance, but he had an item that boosted.
No, but it was
boosted.
probably Razor Claw.
It was
Yeah.
it was scope lens,
Scope
yeah.
lens.
Scope lens. It's the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is focus energy. Yeah. That sucks. Get
Anyway.
outplayed, I guess.
Yeah. So what's going on in the div?
What's going on in the div? If you can pull it up, we have Skyhops way at the top, and Skyhops has been
At plus
cooking.
16. That's
Yeah.
a full 6-0 higher than the other 4-0 person. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Man, that's
Um,
actually insane. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Plus 16? That's an average of +4 a game.
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
pretty
Terror
sure.
Skarmory is the real deal, I guess.
And then as you get into the 3-1s and the 2-2s of the division, it's a whole bunch of familiar faces, as well as some of the new players that we knew were gonna be up there.
I just want to see the diffs for this, just real quick. So,
I'm interested to see
+4,
that
+5.
that he's beaten Glum and Agent Flame, who I think are 2 other top contenders in the division, right?
Yeah.
I would say those two are
Hazard a
definitely
guess.
definitely people you can never really count out.
Yep.
Agent Flame had a very impressive resume coming into the season. As one of the new kids on the block, Baby Dragonzard, a lot of experience there as well. And then you go down into the other parts of the division. We have Hustle, Returnee, Bunhara, Poke Noobs Season 2 champ Deva Wolf, Matayoshi, potentially all-star caliber player returning after a couple seasons off.
Yeah.
Yep.
I keep forgetting that he's in this division and not
Mhm.
All-Star.
And Royce too is somebody that we've been looking at for a couple seasons about promotion, and
Well,
probably
Royce at least I
would
remember
have
was in Swarm before, so it's I'm
right. Royce
less
technically
surprised to see what
did
he's doing.
promote. Would have if we didn't make the split between like now adding All Star. Royce probably would have been in the conversation for All Star if we hadn't like expanded and brought a whole bunch of people back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's no surprise that he's 3-1, near the top of the charts here at +9.
Yeah.
And then in the lower parts of the division, we've got, honestly, I think a lot of the lower part of the division is just someone has to be down there because
Yeah.
even our hustle division's stacked, dude.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
what about-
We do
What
see.
about this one though?
Yeah, we've
I
talked
think-
about me.
I think these games have actually been pretty close, and I think
well, that one
you've
clearly was.
actually, I think you've actually like surpassed the expectations that people had of your team, if anything.
Yeah, because your team was
At least
kinda
you
dog
anyway.
shit.
Maybe I'm just a hater. Same with Eager though. I rated Eager's team very poorly, and here he is 2-2. Like he has negative diff, and
Yeah.
so the games that he's winning are close, and the games that he's losing are less close, or maybe the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, but he like, you know, he outskilled Lee with the crit, so like that has to say
True.
something, right?
He did get outskilled. Brother Options has been great. Has been really showing off what
I was
Kara
surprised that
Johnson
he was
can do.
those 2-2 -3. I thought we saw a replay. I was like, oh wow, this team's gonna like heat, but
Yeah, I think he's been playing well. Let me double check who he's played against.
Atlas is in chat saying he's gonna do his best to make my 1 win impressive.
So brothers' wins are against Max and Atlas, who are both 0-4. But the losses have come to Banhara and Matayoshi, who at least it's a positive win-loss
Yeah.
between the two of them.
yeah.
So I don't know, losing to two playoff contenders and beating two people who aren't in the playoff picture, I think is like just
Well, and
telling or showing of a like middle of the pack to slightly above average player, which will get you into playoffs. And like
Yeah.
we saw with Kai Guy last season, and Lee, I think you were also low seed going into playoffs last season.
I was
as well,
7th
right?
seed in playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, and then you won the whole Swarm division.
Anything can
Right,
happen.
so-
You just gotta make playoffs.
Yeah, just get into playoffs.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter how.
anyone can get hot.
Yeah, for sure. So
And it's also
there's
worth
obviously
noting
still time.
too that like the 0-4 people that he beat, you know, Max was week 2, right? And Max is not somebody that you would expect to be 0-4. Like,
yeah,
like,
Max is I think a little checked out. He recently just
Yeah.
forfeited.
I saw the forfeit on the most.
We haven't heard
recent
from
one.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
but that's the thing is like it's not really the same like getting a win on the 0-4 person when they're only 0-1 week 1, right? And so I still
Yeah.
like it's still a good win.
Yeah, for sure. So I am obviously surprised that Max is down that low. Because Max is usually like a top division player.
He was somebody
I think
who was, like,
he's
probably
in
considered for
general.
All-Star, right? Originally.
Oh yeah, for sure. And honestly, we were gonna put him there, if it wasn't for a certain something that he said
A certain threat he made.
What was that? What did he say?
to his personal safety.
Hmm.
For to not be banned by the YouTube algorithm.
I
It
was gonna
was,
say
something about.
yeah. I think I know what.
But
that
yeah,
If he had to
so-
play against Overmat, he would not have a good time.
Yeah.
Make sure he didn't have a good time again.
Mm.
I am surprised that Atlas is 0-4 right now. I feel like it's the fact that he's new to draft is starting to kind of show his head here.
Yeah.
Where the team looked good on paper. There were some trades that Atlas made recently that we can go over.
Oh, yeah,
The trades were week 3. So we can take a look at those because I think they're interesting. Because Atlas basically had like a copy paste version of Overmat's team, most of Overmat's team at least. Which, funny enough, Overmat has now changed his team in All Stars as well, despite him calling it the strongest team that he's ever crafted.
He changed the
So, yeah, and then he changed spawns. So yeah, we can take a look at this in a minute. I think, yeah, he's really just starting to get his bearings, and I do think the prep that he's been bringing has actually been pretty decent. I do think it was maybe an oversight to not have freeze dry on Articuno in this last game against Eager.
Yeah.
Because I do think Articuno could have won out in the game that he brought it. But alas.
Maybe freeze dry would nuke Kingdra. I mean, it's a Terror Captain, but still.
Yeah, it was like Kingdra plus Aloe plus Torn, I think, were the three.
Yeah, it was like three things that couldn't take ice moves.
Yeah.
So the changes.
So yeah,
the changes were. Do we want to say what the trades were?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that first.
I see that they dropped Enamorous, Sableye, Mime Galar, Tentacool, and Brambleguy. So that's a lot of like lower points consolidating, right? So that's like a 3, a 2, a 1, and a 6. And then combine them into 3 mons of Florges, Hearthflame, Ogerpon, and Articuno.
Yeah. Interesting to see that actually 2 of the 3 mons that they picked up last week, week 3, did come last week as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like these are irrelevant trades that like aren't going to be very impactful. These are like not only bringable but are currently being brought. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the drops was 17 points, right? So you figured that's
true.
Going into some like very bringable stuff.
Now, importantly, Enamorous is actually something that Overmat changed about his own team in All Stars, where there were very similar team compositions, but plus minus the Enamorous. So I think the Florges here taking over the spot of the Enamorous definitely gives you more of a reliable fairy, and I think combining it with Slowking and Aggron, Mega Aggron, does give you actually a fairly stable, a fairly sturdy defensive core. Or just Wish passing to Aggron is pretty strong. It doesn't quite have the HP stat that you want it to have, but when you're passing to another Pokemon that also has a kind of low HP pool, it's actually completely fine, and you're still healing the Aggron for more than half its HP, right? So definitely more worth passing to an Aggron that has such high, what's the term for it?
Like
effective HP.
Effective, yeah.
Like its HP points are worth more than something else's because its defenses and filter are really strong defensively. So like gaining flat amounts of health are just strong on mons with high defense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like for example, a Shuckle healing 50 HP is stronger than a Blissey healing 50 HP.
Right. The smaller the stat, the more valuable the HP is. If you're
the higher the defenses, the more valuable.
Yeah. Well, same with like an Eviolite mon.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think Florges is a good trade. I do think it leaves you a little bit vulnerable to ground, especially since the grass type that you picked up is not a ground resist. And Articuno is not the most bringable flying type. It's bringable. Like, obviously, it came and it almost won a game.
Well, it's also 4 times a week to like the most common coverage move on ground types.
Yeah, like for ground types to have, right? They're usually going to have rock. And the fact that it's not a Terra Captain also kind of hurts it in that sense.
Yeah.
We usually see Articuno as like a low tier Terra Captain to an 18-pointer or something like that.
Skyhop says, I feel like Hearthflame isn't supported very well.
The hazard control isn't great for Hearthflame. And the fact that you don't have that many hazards of your own means that your opponent isn't forced to ever defog their own hazards away. Unless you're bringing Articuno or Florges, you have no removal, right?
Yeah.
And those are 2 of your lower tiered mons. So I feel like just slamming Stealth Rocks against this team, especially when you see no Florges and or no Articuno, just slamming rocks is really, really good against this team.
Yeah.
100%. I am a little ground weak. Got to find ways to address that. Yeah. And Amorous is a false prophet like Tapu Fini. I agree. I think people rely on it as like a flying type and as a fairy type and rely on those types defensively to switch into things. And an Amorous will just end up getting chipped. If it's not running boots, then it doesn't do any job particularly well.
Right.
And if it is running boots, it doesn't do any job very very well. And if it's not, then you switch into like, I don't know, a water move, expecting a ground move on the Swampert, and you take Rock Chip, you're kind of just crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do think overall it's a net positive because I think these Pokemon are more bringable than the Enamorus and like the Sableye and the Mime Galar and the Tentacool. I do think Brambleghast was an unfortunate thing to drop because it was a spinner and a blocker and a ground resist, which does kind of suck. I feel like Okidogi might have to change here. Maybe you can mash Okidogi, Articuno, and something else all together. Maybe even if Keldeo isn't working. I mean, Terra Keldeo is 1-4 in 4 games. I think something's got to change with the Keldeo, you know?
Yeah, that's not.
So maybe,
great.
yeah, those bottom two with Keldeo can change into 3 different Pokemon. It can give you some more flexibility. Even like a Decidueye or a what's the anchor book with Delmise or something that would be just a bit of an upgrade to Brambleghast. Give you the ground resist, give you a spinner. Some other high tier captain that's maybe a little bit quicker or a little bit bulkier than Keldeo might go a long way. And then Okidogi to something that just fits a little bit easier onto a core, I think would be good. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
I
don't
agree
know.
with that. I
Yeah,
would
there
agree with
was-
that, like, which is especially I didn't even notice like the Keldeo was kind of off to a rough start. It's just I wonder what like what is like.
Oh, he's only got 2 free agents left. Yeah, that's true. So it would have to probably be like
I would say like the
Keldeo
Okidogi
plus
and the
Okidogi.
Articuno. Really?
true.
You think you? I would say like maybe move some of.
I think
this
Keldeo's
stuff
good.
around, but
I
then
mean,
like making
he
it
did
something
just-
that maybe supports this a little better. I don't know.
Well, he just picked up a Fire Pond, so you kind of filled that speed tier again.
Yeah.
So Keldeo's importance drops a little
Well,
bit because you already do have a water type, and you
I
have.
don't really like having the Ogre
one type.
Pond be the only thing between Roaring Moon and whatever else comes. If
Well, it was
Keldeo's
previously just Keldeo, so.
Yeah, but I'm saying Ogre Pond specifically not being able to run any other items.
Or Ogre, you cut out Ogre's Pond specifically.
I'm saying Ogre Pond specifically not being able to run any other items. I'm
You
more
cut
fine
out at
with
the same
Keldeo.
spot.
Not being able to run any other items.
Okay,
Keldeo
thank
can.
you very much for that.
Yeah.
That was a great addition to the stream content.
Yep. I think they could hear me. I think it's just Discord cuts it out.
Maybe.
Because OBS was showing it the whole time.
Well, anyways, yeah, there's only 2 trades you can do, so you gotta figure something out with those points. I believe you, and I think Matt should be able to help you with that as well.
Cool.
There's
Any
still a
other
few more trades in the hustle. Yeah, there's a bunch. So that was the second of 4.
We didn't look
we
at
can talk
the
about
Skyhops one.
Yeah, before we move on to some of the
That was
later
the
ones,
week 3.
Skyhops traded Smeargle and Superior for Alolan Ninetales. I think Superior is good. I feel like it's often brought to like flesh out speed tiers and as like an emergency defogger.
And as an emergency Terra.
Yeah, I guess in some cases you can illegally Terra it and lose on the spot.
Just as an emergency though, so it's okay.
Yeah. But adding the Ninetales I think is pretty good. Like you have a lot of setup potential with Sneasler, Bax, Lele, Terrapagos. Like these screens are going to go a long way. Even Manaphy really likes these screens. And Bax also just likes the snow as well, giving you Ice Body if you want to run Ice Body. And just being an ice type, raising your defense is really, really nice for Bax. Baton Pass is a great addition to Ninetales recently as well. And gives you a speed tier that's between Jocks and Sneasler, which is nice.
Team.
Yeah, that's okay. So realistically, I don't think too much needed to change with this team. Now, Ninetales obviously hasn't been brought. This trade was made in week 3, so Ninetales could have come
I think
week
it's
4.
It's there as a threat.
It didn't. But yeah, it's there as a threat. Now people have to start running like Defog against you and Brick Break.
Yeah.
Because the threat of Ninetales is just so good at screening that you have to respect it, or you're gonna get swept by something that's not Ninetales, right?
Yeah. I think it's good change. I really don't see the Smeargle meme, right? And then the Superior, like, It's definitely bringable, but also if you have a better plan with the rest of the team, I think that's fine. Like,
Yeah,
don't
and
think
I
there's
feel
a
like
whole lot.
Smeargle would often just be relegated to like defog plus screens anyways.
Yeah.
Like
Or
glare is really
sticky
nice for
web.
some of these. For like a banded backs or something, running glare
Yeah.
and like T-Wave shocks or something would be pretty strong. Smeargle was so good week 3. Yeah, I remember you brought it then.
There he is. Even though you guys probably can't see it because it cuts off. Whoa, my
can
god,
see most of it.
he's just jumping.
Yeah, the
I didn't
double iron
expect him
bash
to
was
still
funny
be
as hell.
working at that point. Ceaseless edge. You better have wide lens on this boy.
Bonk. Bonk. Bonk, bonk. Stone hacks.
That's actually really
Bulwark.
And the
Double iron bash,
sash.
flinch.
Jesus.
And it lives too.
That's crazy.
I don't think it
Okay,
came back out later, did
That's a
it?
pretty good set. Yeah, it probably didn't. Looks like Manaphy. Yeah, I think Manaphy had it covered. There.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it can be really good in some matchups, but whatever. I think the Ninetales is
Yeah.
better utility here.
Well, okay. Put it this way: is Miracle ever doing that again? Probably not. Let him leave.
That was
all
a
his-
super high roll.
Yeah, just let him. Let
Let
him
it retire champion.
Yeah, right off into the sunset after that one. All right. Next one is brother options. Last 2 points through a cloth on, so I guess he just had extra.
Yeah, he had
Points.
spare points.
Yeah,
Terra Cloth! Or actually, it
Not
wasn't Terra,
Terra.
it's just Cloth.
but it is in all
Yeah,
caps.
that's right. Yep. As it should be.
And then
Everything in balance.
last week we have Leezy.
Blowing it up.
He blew the whole thing up.
Traded
change,
everything with
brother?
KOs.
Wait, I want to see your stats now.
Oh my god, only
Yeah,
Valiant has
you
and
weren't-
Porygon.
And Porygon, yeah.
Porygon's above Valiant.
You weren't lying, though.
Porygon
You
2 is my KO leader.
You did choose.
Go!
Wow.
P2's crazy. Draft this
So-
on.
So Necro, Bolt, Garm, Palisand, which were like Bolt, Garm, and Palisand were like my favorite things about your team, and Talonflame. And now it sucks. So
Yeah.
yeah, well,
Look at Crook. Crook kind of has like
Crook is
monkey
cool.
arms. You
Oh
know?
yeah, I actually do like Crook. I do like Crook. He just got added.
But you added Nihilego, right? Hold on, I gotta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah,
you
yeah.
added Nihilego, Latias, Crook, Primarina.
So you kind of combined the Necrozma and the Bolt into Latias. I think that's fine. It gave
Yeah.
you some extra speed.
You know, electric,
Like that. Yeah, no electric, but whatever. That plus the Nihilego do increase your speed a good amount. I do think it's much less threatening than Necrozma. Like the threat level that Necro, Bolt, and Darm had was kind of just crazy, and I think is what partly led to your win week 1, right? And like some of your success versus Eager, even though you didn't win, is like it's a no breaks, no bars held, offense with sets they can just 6-0
yeah.
and a Darm to break. No, this is definitely leading you a little bit more into slightly more balanced. And Prim, I think, is the best addition. Prim Latias, I think, is a very tried and true core.
Prim always seems
Where,
very
like,
in demand. I'm
resisting-
surprised it was available.
I'm surprised it was open, yeah. But like it supports Latias extremely well, resisting
For
like
sure.
Ice, Dragon, Dark, all of the main moves that are aimed at Latias,
Bug,
and vice
too.
versa for
Like, in
Latias,
turns.
right? Yeah, Bug as well. Vice versa for Latias, right? Taking the
the grass and
the-
electric.
yeah, exactly, grass and
Yeah.
electric. Which I mean, Porygon is there to be like a middleman
Yeah.
or some of the weaker grass and electric coverage that are aimed at Prim, or even ice coverage that's aimed at Latias if you need it.
You know
Mhm.
what
But I think the
noticed,
fact
though?
that now it doesn't have to do that is very nice for P2. So P2, as your kill leader, now has much more support with Prim and Latias, and that's a plus.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, man.
You know what I noticed though?
What?
3 fairy types, 2 poison types.
Hell yeah. Ooh,
No grass
now you're
types.
talking my language.
No electric types. We do have a water and a fire.
into steel.
Yeah, but I'm just talking like no. Oh wait, there's a ground type, rock type. I guess it's really just the no grass type and no electric type that makes it look so much less complete just at a glance.
Yeah, with
Grass type
Nihilego
sucks,
and your ground resists being like
Talonflame.
Latias and Talonflame. Like obviously Latias is great as doing that, and so is Talonflame. Talon is just gonna sometimes get sniped by rock moves, and hey, it's the nature of the game. I think if anything, Latias is under more pressure than like P2 and Prim. But I also don't think Nihilego has to come every week.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's the kind of mod that can come like half your games, 2/3 of your games, if that, and put in 14 points worth of work over the season. So I'm excited to see how you use it, because I also think that Nihilego is something that you can run in a similar fashion that I was saying, like a full no breaks offense, and like just run the speed boost, beast boost with meteor beam or something, and just kind of pop off like that. I think that would be really cool.
We'll see.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, I was replying. I was replying in the Hustle Trades channel that I have open, because Dolce was asking about that he has 3 free agents left, but he thought he used more. But I think he was thinking the number of the drops counted, but he only picked up 2, so he has 3 left.
Yeah, that's true. That's correct. So yeah, I think you are missing a little bit of the physical offense that you had when you had Darm. It maybe will mean that Scolipede and Crook have to do a little bit more heavy lifting, but yeah, I think overall it's kind of a side grade, if anything.
Yeah, I think it's just a pivot into a bit more utility and a bit more speed
And a bit more
and a
fairy.
bit less a bit less committal to one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And honestly, trades are kind of meant to be side grades, but if you can find good upgrades, then that's just good piloting. I don't think there's anything wrong with just getting a side grade to a team that you're like maybe not happy with, right?
I think if you can find an upgrade with 5 free agents and a very limited tier list left over, it probably means that your team was missing something rather than just like, oh, I'm not feeling this, right?
Yeah, completely fine. And you like the trades? I mean, you haven't played anything yet with it, but have you looked into your week 5 matchup?
I've looked into
what
my
are you
week
bringing into
five
week
matchup.
5? Do you want to tell the chat?
Yeah, here, I'll tell Matayoshi right now. I've enjoyed building with it so far, and we'll see if that translates into success playing.
Nice. All right.
Okay, we have one more division to get through, and then I think we're all done.
We are done.
Another division where we've got 5 people all tied at 3-1, but there's no undefeated. So everybody who's 3-1 is pretty much tied for first. Insuzu is winless. The only one in the division. He's been a little bit.
We saw the replay of that.
I don't want to say
still
defeated.
A good game.
It was very good, and that's the thing is you can play 4 really good games and just be 0-4 in this division, and that's just how it works. Like everybody here is here to win, and they're doing that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like I think anybody who's 0-4 in the All-Star division could easily be 4-0 in a different division right now.
Hold on.
I kind of squeaked by last week by the skin of my teeth. I was bailed out by a crit from my Raging Bolt onto the Volcarona against Alice.
Hold on. We have an update. Lethal Blue is now 1-3.
Lethal 1! Woohoo! Let's go!
So there is nobody who is winless in this Swarm division.
Man, I just had to will it into existence.
Yeah.
Big dub. Anyway,
shout out to Goater for updating the doc midstream.
Let's go, man. Good timing. Okay. Yeah, I kind of squeaked by. We talked about it pretty extensively in postgame, where I mean, I was 2-1 and Alice was also 2-1, and we were kind of playing for like one of the top seeds.
Yeah.
Kind of squeaked by with a crit. I do think that there was still like game to be played if that crit hadn't happened. Like
Against
it's not
Alice?
like if I didn't crit there, I won,
Where was it?
or if I didn't crit there, I lost. It was near the end. It was like last couple turns, Raging Bolt versus Volcarona.
Here?
Yeah, here.
Draco. Nice citrus berry.
Good proc, good proc. I just crit this T-Bolt as it toxics me. If it, because it only does like barely 50, right? Without the crit. There is a para chance. Don't know if I would have gotten it eventually,
Yeah.
but I would have been toxic. It does about 52, I think, is like an average to low roll with the
But
T-Bolt.
then-
I don't remember exactly. It can just sit there and keep roosting until either I crit or I para.
Oh, I guess that's true. If it has recovery.
Yeah, but my
Oh, yeah,
play
we've already
is
seen it at that point.
the whole set is revealed and it can't touch Blastoise.
Yeah.
So on one of the roost turns, I can switch to Blastoise and go for a Hydro Pump.
Yeah.
Or
But-
even because it was sub roost, right?
Oh yeah.
So
it's
it can
you're
like
only
start-
down to Blastoise. Yeah. So like, yeah, that probably doesn't make a difference, right? Because even Bolt resists if it were to do like a fiery dance, right? Like
Exactly,
it's-
yeah. So it can't kill me like with a Fire Dance unless I'm getting low. And Volt can't take the turn to both sub and roost and toxic Blastoise. It kind of needs to like do
Yeah.
all three things at once.
Yeah. I don't. that
It
probably
kind of
doesn't
comes
change
down
much.
to whether two Dark Pulses can KO
Did you have Thunderclap?
Volk. Yeah, I had Thunderclap. It got the last
So,
KO
like-
on Metacham.
So like, even without the crit though. Oh, I
Well,
guess
it's not-
it's
why would it
not-
ever attack me?
yeah,
It's
'cause
spamming roost.
Yeah, that's true.
It's never attacking me. Yeah. But yeah, I do think there was an out with Blastoise there, switching into.
Seems like it just kind
The
of
thing-
guaranteed handles it, right?
It's not guaranteed. No, if I miss pumps, it's really bad. But anyways, I didn't mean to like talk too much about this.
Wait a minute. You're
I think I
running
was still in a winning position there. Metacham
Is
was
pump
always going to die
better
because I had
than-
helmet.
Mega Launcher Pulse. I thought Mega Launcher Pulse was just kind of like better to bring consistently.
No, pump is
No,
better.
it's the same as Surf with a confused chance.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of wait. Did you say water pulse or dark pulse?
No, Water Pulse. I was like, but Lee's right. I was thinking of Surf, where it's like just the same
Oh, yeah,
except like better.
Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't mean to go too much into that, but
It's fine. It's your
yeah.
game.
I mean,
That's,
I'm
like,
up here
I
at
think
3-1. Yeah,
I'd rather
DJ.
talk about games that you can talk about from your perspective than speculate.
It was nominated as a highlight, but didn't quite get as much as Jortson versus Gensuzu.
Well,
'Cause
he
honestly,
had
that
the,
was
he
a
had
pretty
the
good
Mon
game.
of the Week, so like you get a
That's
buff.
true. Rheonaclis
Anyone
was
who's
the
got
featured Pokemon last week.
Torkoal is gonna get nominated this week. But
Oh,
I
maybe
don't
we
know
can
if
do
I've
that,
seen
yeah.
a single Torkoal. I don't think I've seen.
I don't think
single
there's one
Torkoal.
drafted in this.
Nobody
division.
did a Sun team.
Yeah.
Is Venusaur tier illegal? It is, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
That would
Yeah,
be
it's pretty good.
tier, Kevin.
Yeah.
I feel like Sun
Um,
is maybe slightly harder than Rain to run in draft, though.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that like the fire types that want to take advantage of the sun are all fire types. It's
Well,
harder
you do
to
have
run
Proto.
than the things of photosynthesis, but like that has to. It's different with photosynthesis compared to chlorophyll, because chlorophyll is ×2. So even your shitter mons with low speed like Vileplume
Yeah.
and can still outspeed things. Whereas Proto, you have to be. It has to be your highest stat to get a speed boost, right? And that's kind of the most impressive thing about weather is specifically the speed cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, I do still think that like Roaring Moon and Grey Tusk are like really good on Sun.
Yeah. But you also got to figure that if you're running a Sun team and you go against the Tusk team or against the like I think there are a lot more like past paradoxes that will show up and kind of like passively benefit from your own Sun than say future paradoxes that benefit from your Coco, because I feel like all the Coco teams just drafted the best future paradoxes.
Yeah, well, and that's because the electric terrain setter is just a top tier pivot that has threats of
Right.
its own, whereas
Well, also-
the best Sun setter is like just a utility defensive mon with no pivots.
But you can also have a Sun team that from before paradoxes even existed, right? Whereas the electric terrain team is like Alolan Raichu, if not for the future paradox mons.
Swoobat.
Yeah, so it's like so that's another thing where it's like if you're drafting electric terrain, like you're also building around it with the mons that benefit from it. Whereas if you're building a sun team, you might be building it with like Venusaur, maybe one of the past paradoxes, but like other like traditional sun team mons. But then you're facing Great Tusk one week, you're facing Sandy Shocks the next week, you're facing Raging Bolt the next week, right? Like it's just more common like that.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't really think of that, but that's a good point. Anyways, what else do we see? We see Azzy, who was off to a rough start, 0-2, is now climbed up to 2-2, and is in a playoff spot with +1 diff. Impulse, who started 2-0, is now 0-2. I think Riceman started 1-1, or maybe 2-0. I don't remember.
Monkey Boy,
Monkey Boy and Impulse, they actually both just forfeited this last week. Unfortunately, they just didn't have time to build last week. So
classic.
It is what it is. It happens. Yeah, classic Kyle. Siderius got a win, which is awesome. We all love Siderius wins.
Oh yeah, was he winless before?
Yeah.
Versus Zeb.
Yeah. It was a good game, but it was way too
long.
It
was also a nom for review, I think.
Yeah, but we just reviewed.
It was really long, and Zeb still forfeited with 4 Pokemon left.
Only 47 turns, but I guess like did the turns? Were you watching it live when you say it was long?
No, I mean it was kind of just.
I remember seeing this. Yeah, because it didn't even get through the whole game because you just forfeited.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you do the diff for that? Was it just +4 for Claude?
Claude gets the kills.
Oh, for the rest?
Yeah.
GG.
GG, Claude.
So Claude is on the kill leaderboard, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, number 12. Let's go.
There he is.
Okay, what else do we have? Polito got a win.
Oh, wait.
Trades did happen. Yes. Okay, I gotta scroll up here. There were a lot of trades in here.
Really?
So week 3, Impulse dropped.
That is a lot.
Impulse dropped Togekiss and Forretress for Screamtail, Braviary, and Cutiefly, and made Braviary a Terra Captain.
So Screamtail got dropped the week before, right? Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Fennec dropped it. I was gonna say because I remember seeing Screamtail getting dropped. So that's
Impulse picking up. Fennec dropped it for Lele.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the Lele versus Screamtail trade.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying I remember we talked about the Screamtail like being dropped. But I'm glad someone picked it up right away. I like Screamtail.
What's funny is Forretress was also picked up right away by Afonso, who dropped Skarm, Alolan Muck, Inteleon, Berserker, and Pyroar. Get Petulant, Hydreigon, and Forretress. So this is the kind of thing you gotta kind of just look at the team here. Afonso, he's the 4th team. So now you have a Hydreigon, Petulant, Forretress, and yeah, that's what was picked up. Over, if you remember, there were like 4 mons all at the bottom. It was just a mumbo jumbo.
The highest points of the 5 that he dropped was 11. Now it was a tie for 11.
11,
but,
yeah.
But that's still like they were all like pretty not low tier. Like 11's mid.
Yeah. I do think Forretress being your only steal is a little sus, considering you have Great Tusk and Hydreigon that are so weak to Ice and Fairy. Now you do have Petulant and Manaphy that can shore up that weakness pretty well. Like Petulant especially can be tailored to beat whatever Fairy type it wants, pretty much, except for like the Psychic Fairies like Gardevoir. Well, even then, actually, Gardevoir is technically slower than Petulant.
Yeah.
Like a Mega Guard, for example, really screws over this team.
Yeah.
You know, faster than Hydreigon and Petulant and just Oko's everything. But that's neither here nor there. I do think the team being consolidated this much is really, really nice.
Yeah.
I don't think the team needed the speed that Inteleon was bringing. And splitting up Alolan Muck into Petulant and Hydreigon, I think, is pretty good. I think Alolan Muck is strong for beating like specifically the Psychic types, but I think this broadens your check range by a lot.
Right.
And also just gives you a little bit more offense on like a more succinct group of Pokemon that you're more okay with bringing more often.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, Afonso did lose the week after he made these trades. After bringing all 3 of the Pokemon that he picked up, Hydreigon, Petron, and Forretress came, and he lost.
F. Oh,
Yeah,
and
big F.
Drix said that he was heading off. So bye, Drix.
Okay,
if
see
we
you later,
didn't,
man.
If we didn't see that before, I don't know how long ago.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, thanks for joining. And then what's funny is so Screamtail was picked up after it was dropped for Forretress. Forretress was picked up after Alolan Muck was dropped. And then now Goder went and dropped Drapion for Alolan Muck.
And Brambleghast wasn't that?
So-
Oh no, that was Hustle where that was dropped.
No, Bramble wasn't. Yeah. So it was just this chain, this 3 trade, I guess a 4 trade chain. No, 3
Yeah.
trades
Well,
of
what
things
the
being dropped and
Screamtail-
picked up immediately.
The Screamtail was the week before, but the
Yeah.
but the Muck was within the same week.
Yeah.
And then on to week 4, we had Overmat. You mentioned this, the Enamorous.
Well, we
Drop.
skipped
But there's still
three.
Oh,
there's
wait,
still
is it?
2. Hold on, there's still 2 trades because Goder dropped Drapion and Dalmais.
Wait, we just talked about that with the Muck.
I mean, we talked
Oh,
about Muck, but we didn't talk
yeah.
about the rest. You dropped Drapion and Dalmais for Alolan Muck and Brambleghast. This is definitely a side grade where I think Muck is just more bringable in most cases than Drapion. But then Brambleghast is like it'll still do
Where's Drapion?
Dalmais' job.
Is this just
It was
not
dropped for
updated?
Muck. You're
this
still
is-
reading this backwards, or maybe not hearing me. I'm not sure.
Oh, it was dropped for Muck. I see.
It was dropped for Muck, which is more bringable, but then Bramble is
Yeah.
like the opposite of Dalmais,
I
right?
thought,
So it was
I thought you were saying that he got rid of Muck because it wasn't bringable.
yeah, it was definitely just a priority of I want something stronger, like a stronger dark / poison type, and I don't mind weakening my grass ghost spinner, right? So pretty easy to understand trade there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is where things get a little spicy because Gensuzu dropped his Terra Thunderous Therian, which people thought was absolutely insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like one of the favorites.
Yeah, one of the tops, at least like
That's actually one that I would think
one
like
of the
somebody
mons
would pick
that-
up, right?
Yeah, well, we'll get there. It's one of the mons that that
yeah,
Overmat
that's-
has kind of brought to popularity, right?
I wonder if he's gonna pick it up.
Crazy. I mean, he is. I did spoil that he dropped his Enamorous, so
Yeah, I literally, I
We'll see.
was just looking at that, and I just didn't even see underneath it that he picked up.
Yeah.
But-
So yeah, dropped Thundy T, Donphan, and Chinchino. I think Donphan and Chinchino are a little inconsequential.
yeah.
There was already a Swampert on the team, so Donphan was kind of just a spinner when you needed it. But then he picked up Noivern, Glamora, and Mousehold, and made Scizor the new replacement Terra Captain. Scizor and Shaman the new replacement captains over. I think it was
Okay,
Thundy
so that was
and
the
Chinchino.
Terra change.
Yeah. So it used to be Thundy, and then it was just replaced with Scizor.
Yeah. I think Terra
Um,
Scizor can definitely work. We just didn't really see it from anyone else.
Yeah, it just didn't really need to, right? And the Shaman it had the Terra to stop the Gliscor from popping, so
Right now, I'm saying in general, Terra Scizor is something that we haven't seen because we're talking about like dropping like maybe one of the best Terra captains of all
Kai Guy
draft.
had it in his championship run last season.
yeah.
I'm
and
saying,
Monkey Boy
I'm saying
had
in,
it season
in
3
this
before.
season, nobody else has it,
Right.
so we
Yeah.
haven't talked about it like this season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's definitely like a good one. So like even though you're losing a very good Terra Captain in the Thundy T, it's not like it's a massive downgrade in the Terra Captain. Like Terra Scizor is good, even though nobody else is using it this season. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So I think these trades refocus the team to being more GU and Gallade focused.
Which is good
because yeah, which is, I mean, there are worse things to focus your team around, right?
Yeah.
So these are pretty good things. Having the Thundy around as like another special attacker with basically the same speed as Chi-Yu was a little bit of overlap, and we even
Yeah.
talked about that in the roster reviews where it's like maybe one of these got to go. And so I don't think that there was a wrong decision with either dropping Chi-Yu or Thundy. It was just kind of a surprise that
I
Thundy
think
was
keeping
dropped.
the Chi-Yu is a good idea though. Like
Yeah.
like if you're gonna draft an 18-point one like Chi-Yu, I think even though you could say the same thing about the Terra Thundy, like I think the team was better structured around the Chi-Yu as is with like the Scizor, than it was around the Thundy. The Thundy did kind of feel like the odd man out, even if it was like pretty broken as a Terra Captain.
Yeah.
And Noivern was added, right? Yeah, okay, it was just added.
Noivern and Glamora were both added, so both of them have removal.
Yeah.
Glamora kind of 1-for-1 slots into the Donphan role where it can rock and it can spin.
Yeah.
With Mortal Spin, and just has extra Toxic Spikes.
It's a shame that's one
something
point
that's
off
good
from Terra Noivern and Terra Scizor.
Yeah, but that's something that's good is adding a poison type, a grounded poison, to just make it so T-Spikes are less good against you. Like looking at Sylveon, Swampert, Chi-Yu, Gallade, like those are grounded things that don't like to take chip. So T-Spikes were previously really strong against the team. So I like having a grounded poison for that. Mousehold was inconsequential. It was like, it's fine. I don't think it's great. But the Chinchino was there before, and I don't think it's much of an upgrade or downgrade, rather.
Well, I think it's a downgrade in hazard control, but it's like an upgrade / side grade in every other capacity, and you just got a Noivern.
Well, Chinchino has Tidy Up too.
Wait, does Mousehold? Oh, I guess Mousehold was the original one who had it. I was actually thinking of it as Chinchino having Tidy Up, and then going to
they both have
Mousehold,
Tidy
who was
Up.
like more offensive. But yeah, that's true. I guess Tidy Up literally started on Mousehold, so that makes sense.
The big difference is really just the Noivern versus the Thundy. I do think that Noivern has good capabilities for being offensive, but the speed tier is so nice for this team.
Yeah. Well, and also,
where
like,
dropping a 101
just,
for 123.
You don't even really need more firepower than Noivern, right? Like I think this is good, and even Sylveon hammers people, especially. Like, I think this is much more balanced or out, and has more focus, and I think that's a good thing.
There are still a lot more trades in week 4 to go through, so I think we
Overmat.
move on from here to Overmat made 2 trades that we'll talk about the second one later. The first one, surprise, surprise, he dropped a Namorous for Thunderous Therian.
Oh boy. Okay, we already talked about that.
Yeah. And then
Monkey
made a
Boy,
later trade that we'll get to
Monkey
in a minute.
Boy said, lol. I
Yeah.
threw a react on that one.
Thanks. Riceman made a trade
Riceman.
but didn't have enough points, so had to redo things a little
Oh wait,
bit.
did we not? Is there a?
So the trade
Is there
the
a
trade that
finalized version?
you put in, yeah, the finalized version. Let me double check.
It should have a Glastrier on it.
I think Embor was.
Embor was too much, and then he dropped Swoobat to pick up Glastrier.
Gotcha. So yeah, wasn't really finding success with the Terra Swoobat, and has just made the Terra Captains slightly different. I'm surprised to see that it's Terra Glastrier instead of Terra Jugulus, because I feel like that's just like the easy slot this in kind of trade. But all in all, I think the trades actually do a lot of good for this team.
I mean, Terra anything with 100 HP, 130 defense, 110 SPDF, and filter is probably pretty good too.
I don't know what filter you mean, but it does have very high
wait, it
defenses.
doesn't. That's actually Pokerogue. That's filter.
It's what?
In Pokerogue, it has filter. That's what I was thinking.
Oh. Yeah, no filter.
Yeah. But either way, like, it's still like Terra with those stats to make it not an ice type. It's kind of like Registeel. I mean,
Yeah, Glastrier is crazy. I mean, it kind of looks like the Zarude that we were talking about. It just doesn't have recovery or speed.
I guess just not
better
recovery is a pretty big
attacking
drawback,
types.
But
yeah. I think the Hisuian Samurott is really nice. You already have pretty decent hazard control with like Treads and Coco. Yeah. So Samurott. Okay, let me just go over this one more. It's a little bit confusing.
I still can't really
because
find
it's
in the chat where like there's an actual confirmed one.
The trade is done over like 10 messages, so it's tough to see. But he wanted to drop Iron Moth, Terra Blastoise, Druddigon, Decidueye Hisui, or Samurott Hisui, Celebi, Embor, and Dragalge.
So 4 for 4.
But then Embor didn't fit, so he ended up dropping Swoobat and picking up Glastrier and made that Terra instead.
Okay. Got it.
So that's, I believe, everything that happened.
And that was after week 4.
This
Or like,
was
or like
during,
after he played week 4.
I don't remember if it was. It was during
He
week 4. I don't
hasn't been
remember
able to do it
if it
until
was.
next week.
Yes, it was during week 4.
That's what, yeah. So like after the 2
He-
losses, that's now he has a new team
Yes.
going into week 5.
Yes, new team. So he started out strong, and now maybe after 2 losses in a row, decided it was time to shake things up, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny that in the team review, like the roster review at the beginning of the season, he said that he didn't draft Terra Blastoise to be a Shell Smasher and then brought Shell Smash Blastoise 4 times.
Nice. That's how
Yeah.
I mean.
I don't know if it was actually
it's called a
4,
smoke
but-
screen.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
that
yeah.
bring Mirror Herb.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up, I think is Sid, right?
Yeah, I didn't talk too much about the Celebi, Dragalge. I think
Oh.
they're always good in general. It's hard to identify like an exact type that this team struggles with.
Yeah.
And the speed tiers are fine. It looks like there's a really big gap below Coco, from Coco to Jugulus.
Well, since the points allow for it, would you have been opposed to a Terra Celebi instead of last year?
The Terra what? Celebi?
Yeah. That could have been good, right? You get rid
I
of
think
your
that could have been
fortress.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so-
Glastrier, there, if you're gonna add Glastrier, it should be a Terra. So maybe
Okay.
it would have been better if Swoobat stayed
Yeah.
and you made Celebi Terra. It
Well,
was, he
yeah.
did say to make Jugulus Terra, but then he changed his mind and made a Glastrier instead.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on. Siderius made a trade.
Yeah. Mega Gardevoir
Um,
dropped. So who's the team that
yeah.
we said looks like pretty bad into Mega Gardevoir? I mean,
Um,
good news to whoever's playing
it
them next
Afonso?
week.
I
Maybe.
think it was Afonso.
So, literally right before he played him.
Wow,
That was the
Unfortunate.
specific
guard would have been
mod.
insane.
I was gonna say that. I was like, oh yeah, tell whoever's playing Alfonso next, pick up Mega Gardevoir. It's, like,
Yeah.
it's the person who dropped Mega Gardevoir.
Oops.
So sad.
That's pretty funny.
All good. Yeah, so they dropped Mega Guard and Conkeldurr for Ogre, Waterpond, for Magnezone, and for Walrein.
I like
Walrein
Magnezone.
doesn't matter, whatever. But Magnezone and Ogerpon are the main points of focus here.
Oh, this is like a fully stacked team.
So he added a second Steel type so that even if Metagross Terras, you still have something to fall back on. And funny enough, I think actually this is something that I've tried cooking up for a long time. Is Espathra really struggles against opposing Steel types?
I was gonna say Zone does help with the 2 psychic types. Granted, one of the psychic types is a Terra Captain. But
Yeah, so it I really like, and this is something that I've been wanting to try for quite a while actually, is drafting Espathra and Zone together
yeah.
with Terra Zone if possible. Now this zone isn't Terra, it's Terra Avalugg, which I think Avalugg is fine, but it does feel like a little bit of a waste of points if you're using 19 out of 25 Terra points when you can Terra
you could literally use
the
that.
Magnezone.
Yeah. Give him
But it's
hidden power
whatever,
fire
it's-
again. Just Terra Fire.
True.
Then again,
Um,
though, having both of your Terra Captains be Steel types, is that good or bad, do you think?
B Steel types, yeah, that might be bad. Because then it's kind of like if you want to have a Steel type and have a Terra Captain, you need to bring both.
Yeah.
But,
Or
I don't know.
the idea that it's like, okay, your Terra options that your opponent has to prep for are often going to be narrowed down to like Terra Fire again, or Terra, you know, like the things that Steel types need to beat. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, all things considered, I think Waterpond's a pretty cool addition. I don't think it was necessary per se, but it is very nice that he finally has something that's pretty quick. I mean,
yeah.
Espathra and Darkrai, I mean, yeah, Darkrai's pretty quick.
Pretty-
Maybe it wasn't necessary, but having a ground resist that's not Mandibuzz is quite nice. And obviously, just more physical offense is good for this team as well. It was kind of lacking physical offense.
Yeah.
They did have Conk before. Yeah, it's a little tough to say. I do think overall it's kind of a side grade where you're not gaining too much of anything. You're
only
gaining
hazard
something that's kind of
control
quick.
Mandibuzz.
And spin Avalugg
Oh, it's been
as well.
Avalugg, yeah.
And it has come twice. So I mean, it's not like he's shying away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you really gain too much. I don't think you lose too much. I think Mega Gardevoir was a little bit of overlap with your other two psychics.
Oops.
But you've lost your fairy type, which is a little bit concerning. And it's hard to see how to like immediately remedy that as well.
Yeah.
But having two steel types does mean that, I mean, you can just tear Metagross into fairy.
Metagross is fine.
Yeah, and you always have a dragon and ice check regardless. So yeah, I think it's fine. Do I think you needed to use a free agent on Walrein? No. I think you could have saved your free agent to make another trade later, but whatever.
We're gonna see Walrein next week.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's going against the
Doesn't it
bundle
get
team
water
soon and
absorbed?
wanted the freeze dry check with thick fat.
Oh, thick fat. That's what it gets. Yeah. Well, that was the last trade, right?
Nope.
Oh, and the captain change. Oh,
A couple captain changes.
Jesus Christ, guys, we're spamming in the chat.
So Polito,
trades.
after my game with Alice, Polito came into chat and was talking about, because I'm playing Polito next week, and he was saying that he was like, okay guys, what should I trade to check Terra Ursaluna, and decided to just change the Terra Captain from Drifblim to Mesprit.
Perfect.
To be like, I don't know, I'm not going to talk too much about my speculations on it, but
Speculate.
you can imagine what I'm speculating. But it's okay because I just denied the trade, so it just
okay,
didn't
that
happen.
works. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I mean it works for me.
Yeah.
And then the final trade was Overmat
Keldeo
decided
to
to change Terra Keldeo to
Predictable.
Terra Thundy. So I spoke with him before he made any of the trades, and like when he picked up Thundy and didn't make it the captain, he was still hesitant on what he wanted to trade around for. He was actually looking at maybe picking up Water Pond for himself, and then it got sniped from under his feet. I'm not sure if he was actually still considering it, to be clear.
Well, he had already
But,
made the trade for Thundy T at that point.
He made the trade for Thundy, but he was going to trade Keldeo for Water Pond.
Oh, trade Keldeo, okay.
And then it would have
Dude,
given
Keldeo
him a free.
This was a Terra
Right?
Keldeo, and it's -4, and the other
Yeah,
Terra
0-4.
Keldeo was like 1-4.
1-4, yeah.
They're not having a great showing. Wasn't that one that you said that you were kind of excited to see?
Yeah, I think it's really strong, and it just hasn't put in the work.
It hasn't been able to do anything. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think it's partly because Matt's team is kind of lacking in defensive pivots that he usually has.
Yeah.
So especially like defensive water type, he's kind of lacking. Keldeo has had to step into that role a little bit. So being a Terra captain and stuck in that role sometimes has been hard.
Yeah.
I do think that Water Pond would have been nice to stop things from just getting scalded all the time. But I don't know. We're back with a very stereotypical Overmat team.
Why does
it's really funny because at the
Water
beginning of the season he was going on about, oh, I've never drafted an Amorous before. I've never used Terra Keldeo before.
And now he never will.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Missing Hydro.
Hydro a lot
on the Keldeo. Yeah.
True. Yeah, I don't know. He said he would take it on the chin and just kind of give in to the allegations of drafting the same things because let's be honest, he does. But I mean, if it ain't broke, right? He did win last season, didn't he? So
yeah, but not this division.
yeah.
This
He's
is a
3-1
new one.
now.
There's no crown for this division yet, so we have yet to see it proven.
Well, Rice Man has the crown
For All Star.
It's his Terra captain.
Oh.
Ah.
All right, I'm gonna kill the stream right now.
Okay. So I think that was
That was it.
everything. That
That
was
was
at
the
least
last
all
one.
of the trades. Yep.
Yep.
Except he's drafted in Amorous before. I actually don't remember that. That's funny though.
So he's just a liar.
You drafted Paldex, I think.
Oh my god, he's a liar.
I do the same thing. Mostly don't let them keep you down. Oh, what? Miss Hydro Pumps? Yeah. Oh, wait, Matt is actually here. Matt said that.
That's
Awesome.
what he said. Yeah, he said missing Hydra a lot hurt for the
Yeah.
Keldeo. Yep.
That about does it for our update.
Yep.
We do in the next couple weeks have a little bit of info coming out. We want to poll you guys on a potential off season that will be starting pretty shortly after the end of the playoffs, actually. So like if playoffs are ending in January, I think we want to have this off season starting in like early February, maybe even late January, depending on when the season ends. So yeah, in the next couple of weeks, we will be bringing on Stormtide, actually, who once again will be helping lead
Host.
some of the off-season stuff. And yeah, we'll have more info there, so look out for that. That's just a bit of a sneak preview. We've been listening to everybody's input about what, you know, I think there's been a difference between some people going, "Oh, you should do this for an off season. Wouldn't it be so quirky? Haha." And then people saying, "Oh, this would be an interesting off season, and here's why." And so we've been taking all of these opinions in, we've been weighing them, and yeah, so we have a big poll that we will be putting out in the next while. We'll be explaining all of the metagames that we're looking at, because none of them are just your typical like draft. They're all some weird off meta. So look forward to more info on that coming probably either next week or 2 weeks from now, featuring Stormtide on stream.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Okay, and with that, that's all we got for you this week.
Yep, that's the stream.
Yeah. So thank you once again for everybody for tuning in. DJ Barara, you've been here for a long time. Thank you, Matt, Goder.
Drix was here for most of the stream, even though he had to go.
Drix
he gets a shout out.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, well, he's not here, so we don't have to say bye. We already said bye.
No, we have to say bye. I'm just
his
saying
time.
we give him a shout out because he was here for like the entire
No.
stream.
Leezy, thanks for chatting. Okay, let's see. We got Skyhopped, Drew,
Fennec,
Corey,
Matt.
Yeah, Fennec was around. Matayoshi.
Who's
Did I say
Jurgen?
Skyhops? I don't know. Stormtide. Drew is Atlas, I'm pretty sure.
Alice, okay.
Jordan was around. Royce.
Corey, who's Corey?
Azzy. Flying Pan,
who's
who
this,
asked
who's this
if
Corey
Mr.
with a
Basketball-
capital C? I've never seen that before.
True.
Who is that?
Did anybody answer Flying Pan's question about whether this was a basketball stream?
It is.
Who the
Yeah.
hell's Flying
Well,
Pan?
They were one of the first people who tuned into stream today. They said, "Is this for basketball?" And nobody
Flying
answered
Pan.
them.
No, Professor Drix said, nah, it's post-Halloween.
No, we were talking about Thanksgiving.
No, he's
Yeah,
replying to
that-
Flying Pan.
No, Prof was responding to us talking about when Christmas music starts.
Yeah.
No, I think he was responding to Flying Pan. Is this for basketball? No, it's for post-Halloween.
Okay, well, anyways, thank you to everybody for coming out. Once again, if you haven't still done this, please like the video and subscribe. It does put us a little bit more into the algorithm, so maybe more people find out about it, and that's
Yeah,
exactly
like
what we want.
basketball
Is we
fans.
want
Like Flying
yeah,
Pan.
we want people to get introduced to draft through some of this content, and yeah, I think it'll be good. So thank you for doing that. I'll wait. We're gonna wait to end stream until you've subscribed.
We're gonna be here a long time. I don't even know if I've subscribed.
What the?
What?
I actually,
There
no,
we go.
I did. I actually did subscribe.
Okay, thank you for subscribing.